good? What's up? How you doing? Welcome back. We have a O2. I got confused in the very beginning, but I knew they didn't still make the Deville, so I figured it was older. I thought this could be a 22. This is a 2002. Getting carbon all the way around with the windshield strip, which is just awesome to see because not everybody's going to think a car like this is going to get carbon tint. I actually got a call back from the client, and he was like, hey, wait, is it the standard or the carbon? Because I want the better stuff on it. So we are doing that. Oh, no, my headphone. There we go. Good morning. Morning. Or for you, afternoon. We just crossed over. We're 20 minutes past. We had a Model Y for some front doors, and now we're doing this one. Supreme, Nick, Omar, Garlic, Warland, Christopher. How you guys doing? I can't even clear 250 on 2022. Hey, this doesn't happen every day. It's to kind of show a point that this stuff is still out there. And this I used to do cars like this all day long for like $160. Like, no joke. So we're doing all the sides and the rear with the windshield strip on it. This will be this is actually kind of a good one to do. Obviously, some older things to watch out for, but the Deville, like, has some funky rear doors. They kind of shift sideways. So that'll be something to go over. The windshield strip has a few things in the way in terms of a cutout, but it's not bad. Back window is pretty straightforward. You just have all the old car stuff. Dual stream watching you today. You and Haas are both going. Oh, nice. Very cool. What's he up to? What flooring? Oh, he's got a 22 Ram. Oh, I've done so many of those on stream too. Good stuff. Yes, big glass, big windows. Flooring is race deck. It's really, really good stuff. I like it a lot. All right, let's set up the camera. Let's dive into this one. But this was it was one of my favorite phone calls. It was just like, I made a huge mistake. I thought we were doing standard. And he's like, no, I want, you quoted me cheaper. I thought you were either giving me a discount or you're giving me the entry film. No, I wanted the better stuff. And I was like, oh, damn. Hell yeah, let's do it. I totally forgot. All right. Not working. Oh, that's kind of scary. Did it break? Please don't tell me it broke. There we go. Got that. All right. So we are just going to dive into this one. I recently watched a stream from Tint Depot, but saw a lot of what he copied from you. I know, and do you know what? I helped them do it. Oh my God, the microphone. So they have my blessing on that one. It's all good. Yeah, there's actually, so Haas and the other one, On Point Styles / Tint Depot. Yep. We actually have a little group. We were talking about everything. Because I think it's a really cool thing to get into. To actually, like, everybody's got a different style. Everybody's got a little different thing to bring to the table. And I end up learning, too, off of the other people. Either a technique or something that they do for their stream that's different than mine. Just, you know, unique perspectives. It's really fun.
Ken Glass super chatted $1.99. Accountant finished taxes, had little left.
Ken Glass with a 2 had a little left after taxes. Put that $2 to good use, man. Thank you so much. That's the best though. If you had money left over afterwards, that's great. How's the baby? He's doing awesome. He is. We love him, and he drives crazy, but we love him. He likes running around all over the place. Hard to keep him in one place for too long. He's always on the move. He's got a lot of energy. I guess it sounds like me when I was little. All right, so let's get this prepped. If anybody asks why we're doing tape on the sides of this one, I mean, I don't think that's going to come as a surprise to anybody here. But you'll see rear windows on stuff like this is definitely a little different than most. Yeah, but can he tint? Hey, you know what? I couldn't tint until I was 20. He's not even 2 yet. Oh, cut him some slack. Oh no, we lost it. I want to see how the carpet shield sticks to this too, because when you get into like older paneling and older plastics, just some hold together great, and some, you know, they've been weathered for 20 years, so they need a little different care. So I'm going to see how it sticks, and then we'll go from there. But definitely the sides. Put some new seals in it. Some new Lowe's seals. I actually tried coming to your shop to buy G-Shield, but was told to order online. I know, you talked to me. I don't stock any extra here. It's all drop shipped out of Louisiana. So I didn't have any extra here to even sell you. I'm not looking to really become like a geo distributor. I mean, maybe one day here, but it's just... The point of the store is to help support here and not create a ton of extra work at the same time. And being a distributor is a full-time thing, and I never have any more time to stream. I'd be trying to solve so many logistical issues. It's nuts. Is shipping pretty quick? Yeah, it's very quick. So you order film and they knock it out the same day. As long as it's before like 2 p.m., pretty much. They'll still try and get as many orders out as possible. But you can usually get same-day shipping up till like about like 2 p.m. If you have like, they have to unroll like 50-foot rolls for you, cut down a bunch of stuff. Obviously, that makes it a little harder to get an order out. If you just order some stuff that is already ready to go, like 100-foot rolls, then it doesn't take as much work. But yeah, if you're in the area too, like Sun Distributing out of Waterford is such a great resource. A lot of people in other states don't have the luxury. You can literally walk in there during working hours and actually buy tools and squeegees and stuff. Like, it's kind of unreal. That doesn't really exist in a lot of states for a lot of tin shops. Why don't you use masking tape? Because it's just not good. It's like painter's tape. It's thick. It doesn't handle water well. You want something very grippy, but also water resistant and thin. So a lot of shops use painter's tape because they see it and then they're like, yeah, we'll use it. And it's okay until it's just like you spray some water on it, it starts soaking in, and it falls off the seals. I've never been really let down from this type of tape. I actually didn't tape windows because I hated those tapes so much. This one's much better, and it's still like $10, so. Oh, God. Come on, man. It's so typical. So typical of an older car to have the door that is the farthest away from the switch. I swear, they always work from the driver's switch. Then that window. So I'll see if it'll go down. Walk around this big boat. Oh, son of a bitch. Of course. So typical of something like this.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Finally bought Lowe's tape, it's expensive. I don't make enough money to buy it, lol.
Daniel Rayner with the 10 finally bought Lowe's tape. It's expensive. I don't make enough money to buy it. Well, you make enough money to super chat, so slow down on those. Like, literally, that is a roll of the Lowe's tape. So then just go get the Lowe's tape instead. But thank you. I don't want to hear anybody can't afford anything and then still super chat. Go and do what you need to do. I'll still be okay. I know you're kidding, though. How much more difficult is it to tint a back window than a side windows? They're very just different. So doors are more about cutting the exact right shape. Back windows are more about carrying a big piece in and shrinking. So they have their own unique challenges. All right, so in typical old boat fashion, there was a antenna stuck to both sides. I'm sorry, I removed it before I went live because I just don't like doing them. So they're always annoying to remove. So I already removed it. It takes me like 5 minutes of just constantly swiping with a Olfa knife. What's the clear sticky plastic you use for covering the doors? Carpet shield. Which way is this? I think it's this way. Let's make sure that's on, and then that. Totally forgot to turn that on. Olfa or red dot? I like the red dot better, but there are lots of different types of Olfa knives. So.
If you turn the car on, would the door switch work?
Daniel Rayner. If you turn the car on, would the door switch work? Typically, no. But we'll definitely find out. I mean, actually, it is on right now. So I'd have to turn, like, the whole car on. So the answer is no. Carbon 20. Why is it like this? What did I do? Oh, I cut out a quarter window. That's right. I remember what I did. I know, right? I can't afford Lowe's tape. Here's some supers. What do you think? I just called the shop. If hired, I will sign a non-compete claim. I think they're dumb. And I don't think most places would enforce them. And in some states, they're not even like a thing. So there's two views here. You get hired at a shop and they're teaching you how to do stuff. Then obviously they don't want you to just leave because you're an asset. And in this business, a lot of companies leave, or a lot of individuals leave to start their own thing. That's why there aren't very many scaled like corporations in the window tinting field. They sell window film, or they're mom and pop's tint shops. You see that a lot. I can't speak for whatever your state laws are. I think the whole non-compete thing is kind of dumb. And in quite a few places, they don't even matter. So, like, they'll make you sign one, but then they're not enforceable. But, you know, check with a legal professional. You literally could probably call a lawyer and be like, hey, non-compete. Don't sign it. You're cutting your own throat. I don't think it's that crazy. But I wouldn't just ask me how it is and then do that. I would, like, you're dealing with legal stuff there. Ask somebody that's smarter about it than me. Because it could be, and then I'm like, oh shit, sorry, dude.
Zeus the Detailer super chatted $9.99. Hey Matt, remember me?
Do I? Zeus the Detailer with the 10, thank you. Vaguely. How you doing? I think you were gonna pull in window tinting to your detailing business. How's that going? Thank you so much for the 10. You know, you're the second person to ask me that today. Because this is a repeat client. He brought a Taurus in before. And I did remember that, thankfully. Oh, look at these big old seals here. Look at that. Just a giant felt strip. But yeah, I'm just talking about non-competes in Michigan because there's some that'll, like some shops that want people to sign them, but I don't think they're enforceable. And then it's just kind of like, what is the company actually going to enforce? A lot of the time, it's more of an intimidation thing because, I mean, I can't blame them. Super.
Zeus the Detailer super chatted $9.99. We have been practicing and it's harder than I thought.
No. Yeah, I get that a lot. Zeus, thank you so much for the 10. It is harder. Welcome to the tinting world. So, this is why I always say you can pull it in as an extra service. But it's better to have somebody that specializes in it do it for you. Don't be the guy that does the detailing and the tinting. It's just too many things. Like, if you're... it kind of just depends on like where your bottom line is with each job and does it really make sense? Because when I'm done with one job, I want to be on to the next job. So there's going to be a separate amount of time in the tinting and the detailing, and those things can kind of work together, but there's some things that won't. And I think you said your girlfriend was going to do the tinting. Slowly coming back. But, I mean, you're looking at a skill here that can take anywhere from 6 months to a full year to get, like, pretty good at. So it's a full-time thing. A lot of practice.
Use the detailer super chatted $9.99. Wish we knew. I have been constantly getting calls if we tint, crying face.
Hey, it's a good problem to have. I mean, it hurts to throw away the business. But really, if you can find somebody local in your area that is dependable, then literally have them come out and tint a car while you're detailing or work with them as best you can, and then split the ticket with them. I think that's going to be way easier for you. But yeah, if you want to take the road of learning how to tint, it's going to be a tough road. I try and say all this as much as I can, but you know, all you have to do is ask. Thank you for the 10. I remember you super chatted a lot before now. It's all coming back. I do car detailing, tinting, paint correction, and ceramic coating, but believe me, I get tired of doing it all. Oh yeah, it's exhausting. I mean, I get asked, like, why don't I do vinyl? Why don't I do this? Why don't I do that? It's like I already wear a lot of hats. I like being a specialist in one particular thing, and I do that really, really well. And I think rather than go wider into other things, I go higher in the one thing that I'm really, really good at. So at the end of the day, I want peace of mind. What is the saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot to be had in just tinting. I really do. But when you're trying to scale it as a business, sometimes you have to learn some additional things, wear multiple hats, but then hire in somebody that can take that off your plate. Because eventually what's going to happen is you as the business owner, your biggest asset is going to be running the business. But it's horrible.
Zeus the detailer super chatted $9.99. Could we get a plotter and learn to cut as we grow? Or should we learn to cut first before getting a plotter?
Oh, absolutely. So a plotter will get you a good amount of the way there. And it can definitely offset a lot of the training parts. So you'll see me do this with quarter windows. Having additional patterns just there for you to practice installing will get you a lot further very quickly. It's just you are gonna have to learn how to hand cut. So what some people will do is kind of pinch themselves in a corner where like, yeah, I'll learn how to hand cut. I'm doing too many things to learn how to hand cut. And then all of a sudden you'll get a vehicle in and you'll be like, oh shit, it's not in my software, or the patterns don't work. So now I have to hand cut, but I wasn't practicing any of it on the side. So as long as you actually give it some like real time alongside of doing plotter, yeah, for sure. There's actually like classes. I hear this a lot more lately. There's quite a few classes that just teach off of plotters and they don't teach how to hand cut there, which doesn't get you all the way there, but hey, I guess it's something. shit. I wonder if I just should have done this farther. Oh, no. No, I'll be fine. You also might be able to work out some sort of like referral system. I don't know. That's a little more touchy. But yeah, you can figure out something. You can figure out something to tell your clients. But I know what you don't want to do. Like I'm sure you feel this way too. Is you don't want to put out bad work. So you don't want to detail a car and then have a half-assed tint job on it. I forgot.
Use the detailer super chatted $9.99. Well, my GF.
We gotta go to the other side.
She watches your videos. What plotter do you recommend?
Let's go a little further down. Actually, no, we're pretty good. Let me adjust that. Zeus, thank you. You know, you could just ask them. You don't have to super chat everything. But thank you. Hang on, let me get this centered. I gotta run to the other side of the car because I get grossly reminded that that the switch doesn't work. Gotta do this about 50 times today. I know a lot of guys know this pain here. Okay, so this window here is gonna do this. See how it falls out of the seal here? Look, this whole thing goes that way. Okay. Zeus, what you got, buddy? Well, my girlfriend looks up to you. She watches your videos. What plotter do you recommend? Thank you again for the 10. Okay, so budget is everything. Because you can spend a little on a plotter, you can spend a lot on a plotter. Definitely get something that's wide enough to accommodate 40-inch rolls. So over there we have the Workhorse 1. That's $1,700 to $1,800. I think it's a good machine, and it'll get you most of the way there. Up from there, there's like the Workhorse 2, which is a little bit more refined. I haven't tried it, but that's what I'm told. I have one sitting on the other side of this wall. You can look in the second-hand market and try and find a used machine. Is it because it's noon? Is that it? We're just doing a noon stream?
Zeus the Detailer super chatted $9.99. I am restoring an RV, so all this super chat money will come back Lamau. I will buy everyone Lowe's tape.
That's awesome. But also you still need to run your business too, so. But thank you. Yeah, so if you want to go to like the higher, actually, like, because you're restoring this RV. Oh my God. We're just going to go live at 10 o'clock from now on.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Me too, lol.
I got work to do. But thank you. Daniel Rayner. Again, me too. Everybody gets free Lowe's tape. Free Lowe's tape or we ban you. It's how it is now. But Daniel Reyna with another 10. Appreciate it. Okay, so back to plotters. So you have the Workhorse 1, Workhorse 2. Those are good machines, but I'd say they're at the low end of what you'd want to spend on a plotter. If you have the budget to spring for something nicer, you'll do really well with like a Graph Tech. And I hear good things about Roland too. I just haven't used them. Those are more in line with like $4,000 to $5,000 plotters. You can spend even more than that on one of those machines. But Plotter Depot. Oh wait, no. Hang on. Plotter software. That'll pull it up. But yeah, Plotter Depot has a lot of those for sale, so you can check them out and kind of see what fits your budget. Talk to them. But the companies that I hear good things about are Workhorse, Graphtec, Roland, Vinyl Express, and Jaguar. Oh God.
Zeus the Detailer super chatted $19.99. No one surpasses me on super chat.
I can't see anymore.
This is last super chat, I promise. Thank you, Matt. Hope to come to your training soon. Folded hands.
I'm just gonna start doing old Cadillacs now. This is the old Cadillac channel. I'm gonna let them all finish, and then I can actually catch up with them.
$4.99. These guys are rolling in money, can't keep up, my man.
Jesus Christ. This is gonna be fog machine ASMR here.
Daniel Rain super chatted $49.99. Say what, Zeus?
Yeah, when you say super chat war, some people get really hyped up. Good God. Zeus the Detailer with a 20. No one surpasses me on super chat. This is the last super chat, I promise. Thank you, Matt. Hope to come to your training soon. It'd be super cool to have you here. I think you'd get a lot out of it, for sure. Especially when you're trying to add it into your business. You can really see, like, I show as much as I can on here, but, like, I mean, I don't hold any punches on here. You see full cars start to finish. This is what the business is like. When you're trying to run another business at the same time as tinting, that's a tall order for sure. Oh my God. No. This first super chat today was, I can't afford those tape. Well, now we know why.
Zeus the Detailer super chatted $9.99.
Oh, that was Zeus.
Should I do 99.99?
Canon. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. No. That's fine. You guys have done a huge amount today. Thank you very much. RGC with the 5. These guys are rolling in money. Can't keep up, my man. Yeah, no kidding. Jesus Christ. And then Daniel Reyna with the ridiculous 50. Say what, Zeus? I don't need this to become a fight. I mean, I'm the happy recipient of it, but, you know. Oh, Super Chat Wars or something. I don't even know what to say. Exactly. I'm with Jay right here. Matt is just like, y'all do y'all's thing, don't mind me. Yeah, I'm just going to keep tinting here. I don't even know what to say at this point. But Zeus with another 10. Should I do 99.99? No, it's all good, man. Thank you so much. But all you guys, really, really appreciate the support here. You have about 80 more dash covers headed your way. Oh, that's cool. All right, we're going to continue. Thank you, guys. I really, really appreciate it. All right. So continuing. But yeah, check out Plotter Depot. They've got a lot of good plotter options. Oh my God. Fuck me.
Sun Distributing super chatted $100. Did you say super chat war?
The Sun Distributing, just throwing down with $100. Good God, thank you. I appreciate that a ton. Did you say Super Chat War? No, we didn't. I didn't start saying it. We've had those before, and it's been quite a long time since there has been one. I thought today was just going to be a nice, pleasant stream about stuff that I used to tint a lot, actually. So I used to do these all day at my dad's shop for like $160. Since then, they've drastically changed their pricing on stuff like this, but
Sean super chatted $10.
Sean!
Are we super chatting?
This is pleasant. Sean, are we super chatting? I think so. I think everybody maybe is trying to make it so I can't see here, too. I'm not sure. Did you guys notice that thing in the background, too? No, you didn't, because there's too much fog. I'm just going to stand here.
Use the detailer super
We're not going to do anything until it's over.
Can ship over
So
a keg.
all the dust is
Upcoming
cleared.
tinter. Embarrassed smiley face.
Where's my clay bar? Sweet Jesus. There they are.
Daniel Rain super
Actually,
chatted
this is a
$9.99.
pleasant thing because you guys are paying for the shop car now. I'm gonna face this way. You won't even see it.
Sean super chatted $5. Thanks. Just wanted to make sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm just here now. That's what's going on, I guess. Good God. Thank you guys for all saving up and then dumping your tax returns here or whatever. I appreciate it. Lots of support, lots of love. I hope in good spirits. It's going well. I'd say it's going pretty well. We're a little smoky right now. I have to actually get something done at some point. So I'll go through these cannons. This is what I'm tinting. Jesus Christ.
Jake Gifford super chatted $4.99. Not much, but I'll add 5.
Oh my God. All right, back through them. Sun Distributing with 100, thank you. Sean with the 10. Are we super chatting? Zeus with the 10. Sun Distributing, can you ship over a keg? Upcoming tinter. Daniel Reyna with the 10, yes we are. Sean with another 5, thanks, just wanted to make sure. And then Jake with the 5, not much, but I'll add 5. Hey man, we appreciate any of them. Tinters in the mist, yeah, no kidding. Call the fire department. All right, we'll continue here. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I don't know how else to say thank you other than thank you. That is an enormous amount of support. Oh, there we go. More fog. T-Town. What are you doing to me?
T-Town T-shirts super chatted $4.99. You need more fog.
I love the way look at how gross that is. I love the way that it said it too. You need more fog. Oh, thank you. Why, thank you. Much appreciated, buddy. So, I thought I thought his GoPro was a bit foggy, but no, it's just the shop. Yeah, no kidding. Canon. This is what I'm in right now. GoPro. My tint job is hazy. I wonder why.
RGC Super Chatted $4.99. Can't tint, huh?
You know, there's people that actually want to know how to tint this. Now they can't see. I hope
Jason
you're proud
Super
of yourself.
Chatted $4.99. More fog.
God.
Daniel Rayner Super Chatted $4.99. Matt can tint under any
I'm
conditions.
glad I don't have walk-in customers because they'd be real confused right now. Anybody coming in now is going to be like, something's on fire. That's what's going on. Something is definitely on fire. Thank you. I will get to them in a minute. There are too many. And they're still coming. Are y'all having fun? I'm having fun.
Burner _ account Super Chatted $1.99. I'm poor.
That was a great one. I'm poor.
Sean Super Chatted $5. Wow, that's a lot of fog. Mouthless face, fog.
Wow, that's a lot of fog. Don't you love how much energy there is behind that voice?
Nick Doolan Super Chatted $1.99.
Need more fog. Matt can tint under any condition. This is the problem with cheap carbon and ceramic tints. They're too hazy. I wish the balloon... No, this is exactly why we don't have the balloon right now. Because it's just too much. I at least can keep moving with this. Sweet! So when I say this looks great, nobody can say otherwise because nobody can see it, including me. Customers' windows are really foggy. Is that normal? It helps with dust, right? Oh my God. That looks so cool though. Hang on. Canon. Okay. I guess I can just walk in it. Because, like, I can see above it. There is now an entire layer of fog. Was the GoPro messed up? I know. So much slow angle haze. I can't go live until I get my thumbnail, but I can't take my thumbnail without getting a nice layer of fog through my whole shop. Canon. Let me make sure everything is okay. Thank you. Okay. We'll go back through a few of them. So after T-Town, RGC with the 5. Can't tint, huh? Jason with the 5. More fog. Thank you. Daniel Reyna with another 5. Matt can tint under any conditions. Sean with another 5. Wow, that's a lot of fog. Burner account with the 2. I'm poor. Nick Doolin. Nick Doolin with the 2. Fog. Or fog. Burner account. Out of all the super chats, would it offend you guys if I said Burner's account was my favorite? You just said I'm poor. I appreciate the support, buddy. Everybody's like, what? Oh, here we go again. Burner account's just like, I'm still here, guys.
Sun Distributing super chatted $10. Did you say you need fog?
I think we did. I think out of all the things that I said I needed right now, I definitely said, I need more fog. Sun Distributing with another 10. Thank you. There is a whole bunch of them today. Have you tinted a bulletproof car before? I tried. Tint did not stick well. It was really funny because the guy that brought it in, oh God. No, it's not lagging on my end, thankfully. That usually is the problem, though. We got to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until we get this window done because this switch does not work. I keep forgetting that. Thank you. What were we talking about? I'll check real quick. Let me just finish cleaning this part of it. So much fun. And then we go back. I don't know why it's typically never this switch. It's always that one. So you always got to go all the way around the car. And then I think that should be good. We were talking about more fog. No, we weren't. I got to go down a little farther. If you make more in super chats, you got to give the guy a discount. Stream laggy. If you make
Nick Doolan super chatted $1.99. Fog.
Nick Doolin with a 2. Fog.
Luis Chavez super chatted $10. I'm usually
Today
always
is
here
now
but
fog
quiet.
day.
I figure now is a good time to contribute. Happy Fog Day. Tinting a 2020 Toyota
This is a little
Camry
far
today.
down. A little farther down than I'd want to be. But we'll make it work.
Daniel Reyna super chatted $4.99. Okay, more fog.
Daniel Reyna with the 5. Okay, more fog. Fog? Fog. We only say one word today, and that is fog. Everything is fog. All types of fogged up. And then there was one from Nick for 2. Thank you. Bulletproof. That's what it was. So, there's this guy. He brought in a Denali. He didn't even mention that it was bulletproof. And he stood out in the parking lot. I got in the car. I, like, half can't open the door. Like, because you pull on the door, and you're just like, oh, it's locked. And you unlock it, and you tug decent on the thing, and you're just like, And he's like, no. It's unlocked. It's just a really, really heavy door. And I open it up, it's just like, and you just see how thick the door was, and you're like, oh my God. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. It's a normal car. It's like a normal car. It's just the same. Because I think he was worried that we were going to charge him a bunch more for it being bulletproof. So he's like, it's fine. I'm like, can I look at it first? I'm not just going to charge you more because it's different. I actually got to look at it, though. So I pulled it around, and some of the windows were glass, but the front two and some of the main ones had, like, I don't know, like 4-inch plexi on it. 3, I don't know. It was ridiculous. Just freaking And I tried tinting one of the windows, but it had a split in it, like a small crack in it. And it kept letting air in between, and it wouldn't stick. So I tried to tint it, but I couldn't. And then the thing about plexi and all that types of stuff is it can off-gas. So when you go to tint it, it might seem fine, and then all of a sudden, it comes back and it's all bubbly. So you could do it with some special material, but just regular tint's not going to cut it. We still good? Because this goes in the edge. I just want to make sure everything's good with that before I roll it all the way up. I got about a 1/2 inch left to go. That's what's extra fun about these slidey windows. The Crown Vics, I usually leave a little bit of space at the top, tuck everything in, and then roll it the rest of the way up. These ones should be totally fine to do them a different way, though. So yeah, long story short, bulletproof glass. No. There's this one material, I think Suntech sells it. I don't know, somebody sells it. And they were very rude on the phone, though, because I was asking about blister-free. And one, they just didn't sound like a people person at all. Picked up the phone, and they sounded like they were having a very bad day. And then I was asking about blister-free. And then they were like, no, that stuff is really just expensive. It's like, well, I'm just wondering how much. Yay! We got it. Got this one in there. Everything looks good. So I'll do a little bit of a different thing with these. Some of these front edges are pretty tight here. So I'll actually put a small notch in them. And then my main tint line will go this way, and then it'll curve back in a little bit to here. So I'll notch it, cut one side, shift it over a lot, notch it here, shift it back over a fair amount. So it's still getting tucked into that corner by quite a bit. Then I'll roll the window down, cut my whole top edge, and then just kind of like cut straight and then bring that edge together. So it'll look a little weird, but the only reason I do it that way and cut it a little short is because that glass is like that wide in the seal, and it immediately goes down into the door frame. So you're never going to be able to see any gaps from it rolling down, and it makes it a lot easier to tuck. This is especially when you get into some of those oddball cars, like the Crown Vics. Crown Vics will be a lot tighter in that space. Usually have a lot more dirt to deal with. This Cadillac is not as bad. I'm glad it doesn't have the plastic top either. Because yeah, these are a little funky. So if we take a closer look at my pattern, I might have even done it like a little wide, but I don't see any gaps. But that's, see this, it goes straight down, curves in, and then comes straight back down, where this edge is just perfectly straight this way. Because there's no sense in tucking all the way over in that corner if you can never see it. Because yeah, we'll clean this up and then we'll roll it down and you'll see it'll just immediately start to shift out this way. I noticed that the fog is all gone. Yeah, so it's actually quick dissipating fog. It just stays around a little bit longer than disappearing right away. There's absolutely no way that I'd be able to do a regular stream with somebody kicking $5 and then literally just fog that never goes away. So it's fun, and it got ridiculous, but ultimately we still have like a nice job that we have to do. You know? People come in here after work to pick up their cars. I'm not even gonna look at it. Oh, I'm looking at it. Oh, God. The alert seems like it's a little bit behind. There it is. Raina, the lows, man.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99. Say what Sun distributing?
Sounds like he had something to do, and then he came back, and he's like, what? Daniel Reyna with another 10. Thank you. What if they had bacon-scented fog? Why call now? I can't pick up the phone. People always do that. You peel a pattern, and then they call. Like 2 seconds earlier. Ding, 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 ding. We missed it. That's okay. If it's important, they'll call back. If they don't call back, then they were just price shopping. Missed call. It's the customer calling. It's the customer calling to make sure that that everything's good. Yeah, well, we can't do scented fog. Smells, you can't. You got to be really careful about that type of stuff. So on this one, this will keep going up into the edge, so you can either roll this up this way or the other way. And just keep it rolled up. Keep an eye on this one. There's a lot to pull. But taping your seals. Taping your seals on one like this. Big, big help. That just kind of ran away. Then as long as we pulled it far enough over, it still all gets tucked into that seal. Beautiful. I almost recut these because I didn't think it was quite wide enough, but it looks like it's actually great. So that's cool. Gonna have to get a jump on these ones too while they're covered. We got these, you know it's never been tinted because it has the original child lock stickers that will disintegrate into sticker sand. Just white powder. Apex versus Pro Nano video. So I don't think we're gonna do a dedicated video on it, but what I am gonna do is a super ceramic comparison. That should satisfy that. Because if you want to know the difference, you can just ask me. Or look at the spec sheets. It's ceramic with more IR. I think it could be a little clearer. That's my main gripe with it. I'm currently trying out the Carbon Plus though, because I was looking to replace Pro Nano entirely with that. Which blade do you use to cut the film? So NT stainless steel blades are awesome. For most of my cutting, I do that. Like you can cut out everything with good stainless steel blades. My favorite are the NT cutter blades. What line do you have on the Chevy? So right now I have Carbon Plus, so I can actually try it out. I mean, I had Pro Nano for the longest time. And then they came out with Apex, and then they came out with Carbon Plus. So I've had to try each of them. Because, you know, as much as I love Geo, I still look at every film to see if I would like it on my own car or not in its category. So that's more than just shrink, install, slap it on, and go, yeah, it looks good, and then pulling it off. I want to try everything on my own car before I then go like, hey, this should be good on your own car. Did you charge extra on this one? Actually, no. No, this one had a fun little story from the beginning, though. So this is a repeat client. He had a bubbled up back window on a Taurus that we did, or that we retinted, right? It was bubbled. I didn't do it. Brought it in to fix the back window, and then he referred some other people over here. And now he's brought this in here. And what was really cool is like, so we talked about it over the phone. I was busy, I forgot what we talked about. We were all set, ready to go on the appointment. He calls me back. He's like, hey, that price that you quoted me, that seemed a little low. Is that with the standard or the better one? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So yeah, this one is, he wanted carbon on this one. So this is what I always try and preach on here. don't assume just because it's an older car that they don't want something better. Always give everybody a fair shot, and so sometimes it just lapses with me, or I assume something. Because you never know what's going to go for it. So an '02 Cadillac is definitely like, a lot of people at the beginning of the stream especially, they're like, oh, wow, you're doing an older car. Yeah, we get them from time to time. It's definitely not super often anymore, but I used to do like a ton of this type of stuff. This is like, mostly when I started tinting, I was doing stuff like this. And it's really, really cool to see that you can still build up a cool customer base, and then they actually like start asking about better films. That's really, really cool to see. So this is a full carbon job with the windshield strip, so we can't forget that. Most heat rejection between carbon ceramic and Apex. Well, Apex is their like top dog film there. So Apex is going to give you the most amount of heat rejection, period. That's the 95 IR. Love watching you. I'm learning how to tint. I'm 15. I want to order Lumar tint. What do you think of? Let me know. Would help a lot. Whew. You're going to have a tough time. So don't start with Lumar to just start. You look around, Lumar's got a big name. A lot of people like using them. The thing is, Lumar has I think an $800 minimum, and they're a little bit more particular, not really. Not particular, but they want you to be a registered business to be one of their dealers. So, you know, for somebody that's just learning, you're not just going to go pick up Lumar. Not without jumping through some hoops first. So, I don't think it's a smart move for anybody though to just pick up Lumar right away. Not really. Because when you're learning, you're going through quite a bit of film. So, I mean, that's awesome that you want to learn. There's good sites out there that carry really, really good film that'll go toe-to-toe with Lumar. They just don't have as known of a brand. So I'm using Geo. Sun Distributing has their Helios line. Tint Depot has really solid films, along with some more budget-friendly films, too. Which one has better color? They're pretty similar. You put them up side by side, and they both look good. I had no issues with the coloring in either one of them. They both look great. What's going to set the difference there is your budget. And that's kind of the case with like a lot of window films. It's not really about like when you're shopping around, you're comparing different tiers. So what is going to be really the defining difference is how much heat does it block. Like, so the better, more expensive films, they block more heat. They're all going to look good. As long as you're like kind of shopping in a particular range anyways. If you go like ultra cheap, that's where you get some weird stuff. But most color stable dyed films and up, you're getting a good film, and then it's what is your budget as far as like heat rejection goes. That's the main value prop there. Do you always clay bar a window or just the edges? Typically just the edges on the doors, and I try and do it regularly. Canon. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Hello? It no worky. but I bet there'll be a callback. GoPro. Why do you put the Lowe's tape on the side of the window? Oh, I just threw it out. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Yeah, sure. What kind of vehicle? Okay. Crew cab? Oh, gotcha. Okay, so just the front two? Yeah, it would start at 100 for the front two. Front two doors typically take about an hour. I think the earliest I could get you in would be Thursday around 12. All right, you have a good one. I don't know what happened with this guy, but it's not having a great day. How do you like those tri-edge side swipes? They're awesome. I've been using tri-edge for a very long time. Now we finally have a Detroit Tint Studio edition. It's awesome. Yeah, they're great. I use them on every car. I'd like to talk to you about your cat's extended warranty. The fog did not mess up the camera. Maybe it did. It's the fog. It's your fault. It's everybody's fault. Too much community support today. No, I think I gotta get a different connector here or something. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't give us a bunch of problems though. I'm already learning, doing good. I got Black Magic and put it on, and I did a really good job on my car, so I want to make it even better. I'm building my car, so I want to get Lumar. Oh, okay. That's a big jump. I don't think you need to make that kind of a jump. Just because you go from Black Magic and you do a good job on your own car, what you want to then do is get a full-size roll, like, because you got back windows and stuff like that, too. So I'm at least this... Like, what I'm hoping is at least you've shrunk a full back window and stuff. What's really good practice is then to strip your car and practice on that a couple times. And so going to, here, we'll use, desktop. So we'll go to Sun Distributing as an example. So automotive film, here are the films that they have. They're Helios Orbit, so this is their color stable film, so this is very in line with Pro Classic. Lifetime warranty, great solid film. I mean, this is go toe-to-toe with, like I said, Pro Classic all day long. Get yourself like a 36-inch roll in whatever shade that you're looking for, and then go practice on more cars. But you don't need to just jump up into being a Lumar dealer. I mean, I appreciate you wanting to bring a really good product to your customers and building it that way. It's just, it's a real steep bill. So, like the monthly as a tint shop is not bad. So it's like $800 a month in like film purchases, which really is not bad if you're busy. But when you're just like, I'm playing around learning how to tint, that's not sensible. Okay, so this is tape that is pulled off the seal. Why do I do tape on the seals? Because it prevents all this from falling into my window. So now my edges look like this car is brand friggin' new. And none of that fell off. Okay, so before I actually prep this back window, there's a little bit of adhesive and stuff here that I saw, so I'm gonna spray it. No! Go away! I'm busy. Clients had all morning to call, and then I get busy, and then you wanna call. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Hello? That's so weird. I don't know what's going on today. But I bet you they'll call back. Let's see. I did my car. I understand what you're saying. I did my car, my dad's truck. His other truck took time, but I'm doing great. The car that I did on a 97 Coupe. Nice. That's a hard car to do. You might be a little farther along than I give you credit for. My point still stands, though. I mean, just if you want to try and get Lumar, I'm not going to stop you. Call them up. You have to call Lumar and then set up an account with them. And if you got the budget to do it, then, I mean, order away. If you want to stock a full lineup of film, it's $300-ish for a regular size roll starting through them. So they're just like, hey, if you got the money, do it. Are they territorial? I don't think most of them are. I think they are with their Formula One line. And it doesn't go any farther than that. No. Are you guys gonna make me use it? Can you use the reach tool? I don't have an excuse. I don't have an excuse to not, other than I just don't like it. I'll put it there, and we'll use it. All right, so let's get the rest of this back window prepped. It's something that we should have done first. Always prep your back window first. It just had a little bit more attention that I had to put. There's some adhesive, look like some old tape or something. Nothing crazy, probably from a temporary tag or something. He wants Lumar, end of story. Don't know why he keeps asking for your advice and ignoring your advice. I don't know. Everybody has their own opinions on it, so I mean, you're doing well. I'm speaking on an average too. If I was starting a tint business tomorrow and I was learning how to do it, it totally depends on what your budget is. If I had no limits on my budget, then yeah, it wouldn't matter which film that I order, because whatever, I got money for all of it. But being that I'm literally going to learn with it and throw a lot of it out in the garbage, I mean, I'd probably want to try and save a little bit of money along it, so hey. Is Tint Wiz worth it if you don't do flat glass? Well, I don't do flat glass, and I quite like it. So Tint Wiz is great for quite a few other things. They do really strong and flat. That's kind of where it got its grassroots from. The owner built it as a flat glass tool and used it in his own flat glass company for 5 years before releasing the software to other shops and stuff, and then he went full in the Tint Wiz direction. What I've found is really, really helpful is the proposals feature. That for me is what really makes it tick. So whenever somebody asks about a job here, or so they go to the site, they fill out a little lead form, like, what are you looking to get tinted? It's a way for me to show a lot of options to somebody in a really easy template. So I think it's worth it. I like it. They do have a 30-day trial, so you can just check it out. that makes it much less scary. Oh God. It's coming to get us.
RGC Super Chatted $4.99. Was that ATR you sprayed back window?
RGC with a 5, thank you. I'm laughing because there was another one. Yes, that was ATR. ATR is a really, really good, reliable adhesive remover. I've been using that for a very long time. Why are tinters hyping up Tint Wiz like they're sponsored? I mean, full disclosure there, they do sponsor the stream. And they've supported a ridiculous amount of projects across the entire industry. Like from special edition dry shrink preps, tri-edge, events. They've been a massive supporter. So it's a great utility, and it's nice to see a company come along out of the blue and just throw so much support and make a lot of things happen that just wouldn't have been a thing. I don't think the tinter battles would have been a thing unless Tint was stepped in. So they're just, I don't know, they seem to be helping out a lot of good people and just making a lot of cool things happen. So you can use them or not use them. That's totally fine. Personal experience here, Tint Wiz will sell a job by itself if you have it set up right. And that's what it's done for me. So with a lot of support and stuff, if people didn't like it, it would show really, really quickly. And what they would have done would not have worked. But when somebody fills out a lead form on my site, and then they, like, I can just forward them a proposal that just explains everything in a very quick, easy way. That makes it very, very simple and straightforward. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry, and while we're letting that dry, we can actually work on this windshield strip too, because these are gonna be cut off of that big roll, and then I'll have a windshield strip to do. We'll do that one. Have you ever heard about Formula One coming along to Miami and Vegas? No, I haven't. I'm not much into Formula One racing though. I just started practicing and shrinking. I didn't realize how hard it is to shrink. Always getting creases. Welcome to tinting. All right, let's clean some of this off. So, tinting and shrinking looks one way, and then you pick it up and try it for yourself. It takes a while to just kind of learn the feel of it. Like, tint's very rigid. When you know how to use it, things can go really easily, but it takes time to develop all that skill. I say skill. It is skill, but it's also annoying. Does this thing... I just kind of assumed this would like pop off and then it'd have a screw here. I don't need to take this off, but it would be helpful. It doesn't look like this one wants to pop off though. Oh, there we go. No, just kidding. It did. I'm a little nervous because there's a chip literally right there. So we don't want to really make that any worse. Why do this? Oh, wait. Cool, that's separate. Nice. That makes that easy. T15 or 20? You know, for the longest time, I thought it was a 15, but I've been told it's a 20. So you can use both. This old school thing right here had a little dot connector. It was already fallen off, so that was cool. So it makes this strip way straightforward. We got to take this off too. So look into the equalizer removal tool. For like the screw or the forward mirrors? I hate antennas. The worst was the rear ones though. These ones aren't bad, but they always got extra stuff that you just have to take off. Any stickers, all that, leave extra shit behind. Motoshield? You know, I don't know where I put it, but I bought a roll of Motoshield, and then I set it down somewhere, and I've never been able to find it. They have a very pretty box. They put a lot into their packaging. It was funny, they commented on my on one of my videos, and they're like, our heat rejection is 99%. Cool. That's good. It might actually be decent stuff. What's Motoshield? It's another Amazon brand. At least that's where they get most of their popularity from. But they're charging more for their film. They definitely could be a decent film. They put a lot into their packaging, so might be the whole thing. I don't know. It's not enough to carry as an installer, though. But that's not their market. Their market is Amazon. Will double heat rejection put your heat rejection to 100%? No. It's kind of like 20/20, right? It'll take a percentage off of what's there, but there's probably some diminishing returns there. If you want 100%, just put tinfoil over your windows. But you got to realize, too, the numbers all sound fun. It absorbs it into the glass. So, like, even at 100%, your car's still going to get warm and everything, but it'll be like way more comfortable driving around with. I put that on my truck when I started. It's got a weird look next to Lexan. Oh, really? That's what happens when I open my dumb mouth, huh? The problem with a lot of films is they're trying to promise, like it's like anything. They're trying to promise the world at a price that doesn't make sense. But also, with a lot of those, they take advantage of people. So they have room to give a good film, at least margin-wise. Why don't you use the plotter? I do. It just depends on what it is. I use it on some stuff, not all stuff. The Lexan is definitely clearer in the sun. It's probably because it's going for 99% IR. When you get to numbers like that, it just becomes stupid. You know, in the camera world, it's like a, actually, I'll do this, whatever. In the camera world, it's like having a wide-angle lens and a low aperture lens, or a fast aperture lens with also a zoom. Like usually, there's always a trade-off. And I guess in the business world, there's always a trade-off between price, quality, and time. The higher the price, the nicer the quality. The lower the price, the cheaper the quality. Everybody wants it all for nothing. There's usually going to be some trade-offs there. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm actually going to... Ooh, is it going to be enough? Tint Wiz with a card reader? Not yet. They are doing Stripe integration. Once they do that, they'll do deposits. Holy shit, where'd my phone go? Oh my god. Hello, Tint Studio. Good. Are you calling about a tint appointment? Oh. Sorry, I'm right in the middle of some business right now. I gotta go. We handle the local map listings. Oh, okay, cool. Bye? I was gonna say live stream, but that isn't... Nobody's gonna get it. So right now, you can do invoicing and you can still integrate it with like QuickBooks and stuff. They are working on Stripe integration, last I heard. When they get deposits, that'll be super cool. It's for customer relations. Yeah, it's literally called a CRM suite. Is it international? Yeah, you can use it anywhere. There's a whole bunch of questions today about it. That's cool to see. Here. Let me show you the main feature that I use out of it. Canon. Okay. Let's just hang out for a second. So while that backglass is drying, we got quarter windows, backglass, and windshield strip. So, new leads. Proposals. Let me show one who viewed it, but he hasn't approved it. Proposal. View. Just done. Okay. So this is what I send to every client that goes to my site. So if you go to DetroitTintStudio.com, you click on quote, you see this form here, your name, your phone number, your email, your make and model of your car, and what you're looking for. Then I get that on through Tint Wiz, and this is just what I mainly use it for. So let's say you've got a 22 Camry, you want to get the whole thing tinted. Let's look at some options. So this is what I fire over to you in a couple of seconds. So you see pictures of cars that have gotten done with it as examples. So you can now see kind of like the behind the scenes a little bit, some different examples. And then I have the actual display boards that I have in my showroom attached to it to give you a better idea of like, these are the shades that's available in each one, little descriptions of the film, the price that it's gonna cost for your car, and then you could add a couple of other options too. So you could set these proposals up for front doors, windshields, ceramic coatings, paint protection film, like literally like anything you want to do with these, you can do. In terms of like services you want to do. If you want to throw in like, hey, we also do like glass coatings and stuff like that, you could like leave optional things. And then at the bottom, they'll have a preferred install date and notes, and then select which one that they want to go with. You know, things can always change, but then it throws it back to you. It's a really good way to, in like a couple of seconds, to give a whole snapshot of like everything that you could rifle off over the phone. Oh, we got carbon, we got ceramic, we got this, we got that. It's like, it's information overload. This is just a nice thing that'll shoot a text to their phone, and then also an email. So if somebody calls you, this is a really handy thing that you guys can do. If somebody calls you and then they're just asking about pricing, well, you got their phone number and what car. At the very least, you have those two things. You don't even need to get their name. But if you want to ask their name, you could. And then you just put them in here, and then you shoot them off a proposal off what you just asked about, or what they just asked about. And then just, you know, hey, I'm looking through my car tinted. Okay, thanks, bye. And you could send them one of these. You might not land them, but you're showing a lot more professionalism with a whole lot more people. It's a really, really cool thing. It's a real, real good thing to do. So from there, you've got your dashboard, contacts, projects, proposals, invoices, notes, reviews. So after you're done with the job, it'll automatically email the client asking for them to leave a review, you know, just those little extra things that you can do to help improve your business. They have a really good scheduler as well, so it's a great way to keep track of all your jobs and stuff. With the way that I have my site set up now with deposits, that gets left out of a couple of things, but I do all my invoices, all my proposals, all that I do through TintWiz. So this is like the calendar and what's coming in, keep track of your schedule and stuff like that. I don't use it because it doesn't integrate well with the way that I do deposits yet. Do they have templates to add detailing? Yeah, like you can tailor it any which way. It's just more geared towards window tinting because that's where it got its roots from. So you can have detailing services, you can have other services. So if we go back to the proposal, instead of the way this is set up right now, like solution 1, so that would be like stage 1 detailing, stage 2 detailing, or like, you know, and then you could you could show pictures of like befores and afters and different things. And anyone, like, it's just such a good way to show a nice snapshot of your business very, very quickly. So most people are calling about a basic detailing. You could then have, like people here, they call about, hey, how much for window tint on my 22 Camry? Well, this is what I would say over the phone, but I also want to say all this stuff too. Let me just send it over. Really, really helpful. If you guys want to check it out, though, too, try it out. I mean, they have a free 30-day trial, tintwiz.com. I'll drop a link here. So you can sign up, start a free 30-day trial, and see how you like it. They also have, I'll point this out too, training. It is confusing when you first start to use it because there's a lot to it. So when you go to add a customer, if we go back here to dashboard, hang on. Contacts, yeah, it shows, okay, so we add a new contact, right? So desktop. So if I'm gonna add a new contact and stuff, like there's a whole lot of things here. So tint, dude. Phone number, blah, 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 and then save contact. And then from there, you have them as a contact, and then you go into add project, and then this is where you start putting in the car for the client. So you have the client, and then you have the vehicle for the client, and then you can add more cars as they go, but like then you create a project, and then this is everything that has to do with that project. So if you want to create a proposal, then it's as simple as create a proposal, full car, no windshield. I click this button, it thinks, and then if I click view, this is exactly what I showed you guys. Boop, there it is. That same proposal. It's right there. Fired it off to them. So I would typically have gotten that lead from my website. They go to my website, they fill this out, and then they're in a lead. So then when I click add contact and then add project, it already rifles all this information. It's all ready to go. It's that quick. So it already has the name, phone number, car, and then I just fire off the proposal. And then the ones that want to book with me, I then get an approval for, we schedule a date, and then there you go. Really, really good, helpful, use it all the time. I should add new pictures to this. T-Town is a coach for the app. Yeah, so on their site too, they have, like I said, they have training at the top. Here. So if you're confused about anything, like you're the owner, you're an admin, consultant, installer, go through one of these, and then they'll help you out with getting everything set up. They have a nifty little chat thing down here, like a lot of shops do, or like a lot of websites do. They're there to help teach it to you because that's their business. That's what they do. We are not done. We're just taking a little break. So let's pop these back up. Where do you start getting a website? So my website is built through Wix. And to be honest, it could be better. It could be much better. It looks like somebody built it himself. Squarespace, Wix. There are lots of basically template website builders out there that'll give you a really, really good head start into just getting something. There's actually a company that I'm really interested in setting up my own website that I kind of want to talk to. I have to make an appointment with them. Their chat support is very fast. Yeah. They got back to me in 5 minutes. That sounds about right. Anytime I've had a question, you shoot it off to them, they have people that are there that are there to help. Yeah, I don't think this is long enough. I think this is going to, again, be for the quarters. But yeah, for those of you that have tint businesses, you know how much you're answering the exact same questions over and over and over again. And it wasn't until I had my own that I really started looking into systems to help with that type of stuff. Oh,
RGC super chatted $1.99.
DC! No message? Well, thank you. DC with the 2. I appreciate it, man. So I actually looked, and I haven't kept up with it, but I actually had a whole auto chat responder because I was getting so many requests through Facebook when I was doing ads. There's people that are just they just want pricing, right? So they ask vehicle, make, model, how much is it, and then can I schedule? And you can't just give some generic response to every one of those because there's always little funnels, they got a different car, they got something older, they want to get front doors, they want to get a full car, they want to get a windshield strip. But just having some general blanket pricing for most jobs and something that people can walk through to get some info, that I found super, super helpful. So having proposals, man, that makes my life so much easier. Because it gives you a chance to showcase what you do. Take some pretty pictures. have some info, you have some other services that you offer, you want to make them aware of it, but over an email, over the phone, it's too much. A lot of people feel like they're getting sold to as well. So if they call and they're asking for how much is a tint job, and then you're trying to talk to them about carbon and ceramic, sometimes it's just like they need time to even process, like, hey, no, I'm not just making this up. There are different films. Welcome to the world of window tinting. Here's a quick crash course of some different things that we offer, and you can attach media to it. So it's just really powerful tool. Because there's so much we want to say, but then you got to say it 500 times in a row. Make it easy. Where were we? Is ceramic harder to shrink than carbon or dyed? Why isn't this working? That's the better question. Oh, that's why it's not working. So, carbon and ceramic can be harder to work with. Now, in most cases, unless you're going cheaper, in most cases they're pretty similar. You make the shrinking look so easy. I mean, I gotta give the film some credit here. These are all really nice films to work with. But we had these films here, and just handing them to people and say, go nuts. They're easy for a tinter to shrink, but learning how to shrink is just a skill in and of itself, so. So I'll notice little differences, like especially with some of the older carbons that I use, they just took longer to shrink. They felt a little rubbery. C2, I've been a huge fan of ever since I got my hands on it. It's kind of what put me over into carrying Geoshield. Because I was looking for more than just one level of tint. So I was using Avery, and I really liked the NR, but that gave me one color stable option. And then I would have a handful of people come in from time to time about the NR Pro, and they go, my front doors, they just don't seem clear compared to the back doors. That's like one of the biggest things that'll, like, biggest no-nos. Like, front door business is huge. So to have a client come in and go like, hey, whatever you put on my front doors, it just looks a little cloudy in comparison to the back doors. This is no good. You don't want that. Trying to see this line here. Oh, interesting. So my hardest part is corners with the glass aid. So what I'll typically do you remove the glass aid before you go to install it? So this is something I would do with or without glass aid here. I don't want to assume too much, but just tip for anybody, when you shrink a window and then you cut it to size, you're cutting away a lot of the tint that was kind of holding that shrink together in those spots. So we shrink all this area and we just cut it in half. Now I have a couple little spots that'll pop up. So after I'm done cutting it out, I could do this with or without the glass aid there. It's just pulling it makes it lay a little flatter. I'll take this heat gun, I'll get it nice and close, and I'll get those edges to pull together. I pull it after I shrink. Or after I cut. I don't know, sounds like you're doing what I typically do then. But just with having it lifted might make it bunch up for you a little bit. It's where you'll see me typically pull shrink a little bit more on more curvy windows and stuff, so. Just need a little bit of refining. Sounds like you're close though. It's hard to tell you exactly what to do in that case, but because you're essentially there. Oh God, see, I forgot about it, and then it's sitting in here. Hey, that's cool. Follow your methods mostly because it makes the most sense for me. That's good. It makes the most sense for me too. That's why I do it that way. I try to do as straightforward of an install as I can. Just leave things as is. I mean, the extra stuff that gets done here, oh God, I forgot about that too. Oh shit, hang on. There is a little button that'll totally screw me up. We gotta cut it out. There's a little hole we gotta put in the tint. Like XR Plus blacks out 98. Yep. Yeah, I hear good things about XPEL. They really haven't been in the window film game for very long. But they have really good marketing. So they took their really good marketing and took it with a proven manufacturer and some solid software patterns. It was kind of a no-brainer for a lot of people. Ding, 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 ding. Can't get anything done today. I don't even think I'm gonna make it. Maybe. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Hello? God, what is going on? That's super annoying. That usually doesn't happen. It's like, I don't think it's connecting on like the first ring. It's super weird. Yep, there it is again. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? No, we just specialize in automotive. We do it here. Mm-hmm. No problem. Have a good one. Mobile. I'm good. I'm good. I've done enough mobile. I want to stay put. All right. Oh, look, I can reach to almost the entire bottom. The reach. We don't need to reach very far. So one side. Oh, no shit. I can feel the difference there. So these are the same shape. One side is softer than the other side. So this side's a little bit more rigid. This side's a little bit thinner. Curves to the glass. So I'm told you're supposed to just hold it flat and then do that. Is that what you're supposed to do? See, this thing is so friggin' awkward. I don't get it. This thing makes no sense to me. Maybe like that. I don't. Use it like a side swipe. That's the way I first started trying to use it. But I think a side swipe does better as a side swipe. It's awkward to hold, it hurts, and the maker of it said, don't use it like that. Everybody's like, use it like a side swipe. Okay, so for context, this is how I use a side swipe. And it's comfortable, it feels fine, and then you swoop. I got a nice clean line there. This I don't feel is doing anything unless I'm really cranking it like that. And then that's how I use the reach and never had any issues. Never had any issues. It's like one of the most annoying statements ever. I don't get this thing. I swear, this part is just not flexible enough. I say it too from time to time. I've never had an issue doing that. But in a world where so many people say, I hate this thing, or I've had these issues, to have somebody go along like, I've been using it forever, and I've never had any problems. God damn it. Then what are we all doing wrong? Teach us. So I'll squeegee everything, and then I'll take a side swipe and go along the whole bottom. Man, it's like me shrinking film. It just doesn't work. Yeah, that's fair. All right. So what we need people to do is step up and post videos, because this is how we all learn. For tools and processes that you like versus what I'm doing, it just needs more exposure. So post it in the Facebook group. Like, and you can tag me. You can go, Matt, this is how to use a reach, dumbass. But for me right now, like, this is the best that I'm getting, and I don't feel remotely confident with this at all. It's just weird and awkward. So I could get a nice press out with like the side swipe and a bulldozer. But when it comes to using that reach, I'd leave a ton of air bubbles behind. I just don't see it. And I love Tri-Edge. I have my name on a Tri-Edge. I love them. But I'm very just... If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And for me, that's never worked. Oh, the big green curve tool? Yeah, the tail fin. That one's awesome. I love that thing. I use that one all the time. So my 3 back window tools are a side swipe. If I can get Oh, that's so cool. Yep, I was hoping it wasn't all just shit talk. I left a question in the group. I got 150 responses, which helped me out a lot. Hell yeah. That's awesome. So my back window tools, in order, is side swipe, then bulldozer, and then a tail fin. And generally, I can take care of everything with those. I'll just use a side swipe if the side swipe reaches everywhere. But for areas that I can't get a side swipe, I take a bulldozer. And then if a bulldozer is just too thick, then I switch over to a tail fin. And then from there, in a very rare case, the red Deville. And that's kind of everything. You know, you forget the curve. Hey, I hope I made it happen this time. I get a lot of anxiety watching people do that zombie style method. Why would it make you anxious, though? It just always made a lot of sense. Like, you're juggling a lot of film, but it's pretty controlled. Is it the, you know, I heard that as like I was already too far into this. It's a good sound, right? No, that's this morning. That's what you're hearing. Some extra coffee. Or Chipotle. 6'3", 250 pounds. Getting in and out of a car with zombie method is sketchy. Yeah, that's fair. You got much better reach over back windows than I do, though. I'm 5'8". So I can get in the back of a Mustang just fine. But there's some cars and windshields I wish I was a little taller for. Ta-da! This seems to go pretty well. I find reverse rolling works better for me. I'm only a couple inches taller. Weird flex, but okay. A few inches taller. Whatever, man. No, I think reverse rolling back windows makes a ton of sense. And I really like how controlled it is. This way, in most of the time that I've seen it, this way is faster, but it's a little bit more chaotic. So when you're learning, I think it's worth going down this rabbit hole here, but it's easier to teach. It's easier to teach reverse rolling than it is the Frankenstein or the zombie or whatever. I felt like I could stand up in the 12 Mustang between the rear deck and glass. Is that the really big dot matrix one? Is that still a 2012? I think that is. Because Mustangs are not tall. What I forget when the body style changed, because there's like the more curvy one, and then they started getting like real flat. And then you have to do like this tint limbo. Oh yeah, see? See, I got it right here. This guy is awesome. This is the tail fin. Hell of a back window tool. Weird flex, but okay, Matt. April 6th. What is the name of your logo designer? Iron Duck Designs. Or Carrie on Facebook. Well, at least she's in all the groups as Carrie, but Iron Ducks is the business name. Okay, let's clean this off and see how it went. I forget when those body styles changed. I think it was like up till like 06 or 07. And then at some point it started to change. Yeah, Carrie does great work. So she's like a whole branding specialist, essentially. She's a very talented designer, been doing it for a long time. And like, if you want to go through her, she'll figure out where you want to go as a logo design, but it's like it's a whole process. It's not just like, hey, I need a tint logo, here you go. It's like, what is your business about? What are you thinking? What colors do you like? And then she'll start sketching up some black and white templates for you, and then figure out what kind of trail you want to go down. But tint keg, me, probably hundreds of other tinters at this point. Sun Distributing, like all the graphic work for everything Sun Distributing is through Carrie. She does phenomenal work. She'll do cool things too, like icons, banners, stuff like that. So this turned out nice. I'm really happy with this. Even this little cutout, like this turned out insanely well right around here. I was worried about some little speckles and stuff. No, that looks good. I don't have anything bunched up around it. I'll just kind of lay down smooth. Sweet. We can put that back on. Yeah, this looks good. Very, very happy with this one. Good deal. All right, so now we gotta do some quarters. Let's just split this in half. They're like grossly big quarter windows, but they're really easy. They have like a huge border around them. So sometimes that works, or sometimes they'll do them like this. Looks like both of them will work. Cool. That's great. Looks hazy. No. What you're seeing right now is the reflection off of the diffuser. So it's a real soft light on everything. If I back it up under this sharp lighting, it'll look a lot cleaner. This is so I can see everything. Had 2 vehicles return recently due to small air bubbles. Checked against the sun, and when they left, there were none. Could this be due to excessive moisture? It's either some small dirt specks that are hard to see. So when they dry out, they leave little air spots behind. Or it was just a little bit of air pooled up in some heavy water spots. I've seen that too. So, you know, when you're squeegeeing everything out, especially in like some of the higher corners and stuff like that for me, some of these areas don't necessarily get as pushed down. So I'll go back, and then sometimes I'll see like some light water or light little air pockets still sitting in like some heavier water spots. So just make sure that's all pushed out. If not, then it was dirt. But Yeah, I have it happen too. I actually had to redo 2 front doors on a Malibu on Saturday. They both started peeling. So that happens from time to time. It's annoying when 2 of them do it. But I still have stuff that comes back from time to time. You know, especially with being like... Is it raining? Might be raining now. Especially with being like a picky magnet, right? Like I always put so much more time and effort, attention to detail. Well, that attracts picky people too. So when I think something turns out nice, I mean, I don't necessarily catch absolutely everything. So something can always come back and be like, hey, is this something that'll go away? And it's like, oh shoot, no, it won't. So then I got to redo it. Actually, I think I'm just going to do it this way. Let's just do it this way. Did you bottom feed them? No. No, I didn't. I typically don't. I've got the other one. Is that your car in the back? Oh my God, somebody noticed. That is the new class car. I bought it yesterday. It is a turd. But a happy turd. No, it's actually one of the best practice vehicles, I think, ever. It's got so much going for it. I could have picked up like a Fusion, but like the older style Fusion, and those just aren't tricky. I noticed in the beginning and asked about it. Okay, fair enough. There was too much fog going on. Christopher was first. Thought you'd go to the junkyard and get spare doors. See, here's the thing. It's not the same. How are you going to learn off of junkyard doors? Like, you can learn basic stuff, so like cutting, installation, but it's not the same as having it attached to the car. So I actually got to remove all this. But these are good size windows. This isn't the hardest. This is not like a hard car to do, but it's got a lot of like normal things. So the gaskets on the side doesn't give you a lot of room to tucking, but they're kind of there. This bottom, pretty standard for a nice bottom edge to tuck into. Nice general curve to the glass. Good size too, so it just makes it a little bit easier for that. Back doors, front doors are very, very similar. This quarter is one of those more annoying gasket style quarter windows. So where you got to try and get closer to the edges here, be a little bit more exact on this one. It's a really, really good one to practice on. This back window is like so in between. It's like not very curved, but it's curved enough where you're going to learn a ton off of this. Gives you a good amount of space on the inside. And then with this windshield, same thing. It's great. This is such a good practice car. And this was one of the cheaper all-around cars, so it definitely has some scratches, some dings. It has 180,000 miles on it. It's a great car. So yeah, it's an Altima. It's a 2010 Altima. So I'd like to still get a couple of back windows, like a Charger back window, maybe a VW Bug, a Model 3 back window, and then have them available on stands that people can like get some more practice and in a couple of different styles. That would be super, super cool. I was surprised, though. So when I was looking around, lots of Fusions, lots of Malibus, and, Malibu was like kind of on my list. I'm like, maybe I'll just get a Malibu. But Malibu is, you're taking the seals, out of the older Malibus, you're taking the seals completely out. So then you just have metal frames on the side, and it's like, no, I want actual seals to tuck into. But I don't want anything crazy. So this was a great mix of very normal, very standard, not breaking the bank. And yeah, I scooped it up yesterday, so. '93 split that back window. So yeah, as the classes kind of build, we might, like, I think it'd be smart to have some doors on some stands that I could put around the wall, and just have a couple of different examples. I think that'd be really, really good to do. But you need like a car. That's the car. So I picked it up for, how much was it? 33. It was 3,300. Map mobile. Why am I mobile? I don't want to be mobile. I've already been mobile. Oh, it is raining outside. Gas is expensive. You got it to go to work. No. No, I had to, like, I was a little sad because I could have got a CTS for cheaper. And I was like, CTS would be more fun. And it looked okay. I mean, it looked better than that one did. And it was like $300 cheaper asking price. I was like, But then, same thing. You pull the seals out, it's flatter windows. You're just not learning the same on that as you will the Ultima. Any negotiations? Yeah, so they had it listed for 36. And I got it for 33. They were nice people, though. I didn't want to, like... I jumped on it really quick. So if you want to get like a good marketplace, well, I guess you'll probably pay a little bit more. You either wait to see if something sells or not, but usually like it's the turds that hang around, or you just keep refreshing until something pops up, and then you are the fastest one on that car. So I spent, I was trying to spend for like a class car anywhere between like $2,500 and $3,000. But then I was seeing what was available for that, and I'm like, nah, I think I gotta spend a little bit more. $5%, isn't that impossible to drive in the night? No, it's not. Not in a normal place. Once you tint the windows, you can sell it back. But then I needed a recurring car, though, so that's going to hang around for the classes. Because it was renting, it's like $300. So that pays for itself for the classes inside of a year. Because it was like $330. So like 10 months or so, it basically then pays for itself. So that's nice. Did you make any money on the classes? Yeah, I did. So even with, this is what's really cool. So even with providing as much stuff as I did, it still makes sense as a business. So in each student, like there's legitimately like 500 plus of that is going right immediately into tools. So when you're scaling with 6 people per class, like if it was just 1 or 2 people, no, you're spending all your money. But with 6 people, it actually makes sense. So it's just got to be scaled right. And what's cool is it's not my main business either. So this is what's also really, really fun for me, is I'm just kind of over giving at those types of things just because it's fun for me. Like, I get to make a class as good as I can possibly make it. But it's not my main business. I'm not a dedicated tint school. I'm still a tint shop, and I've got the channel and everything else going on too. So it's a special thing that we can do once a month, where I'm sure a tint school that is a tint school can't necessarily do the same thing. Yeah, still got to make money on it. That's the only way you can do it consistently. But yeah, anybody looking to do classes, man, I mean, I don't think there's enough places to go to. It's just trying to get people. So having the right setup is really, really important too. But yeah, we have five people booked now for April. 3 people I think are booked for May, and nobody's booked for June yet. So I don't know. Maybe all of a sudden it'll die. That's the risk that we take. But I think as it gets closer to the class, you'll see a couple more people book up, but they still are very new. So it's still hard to say, but I'm really, really happy with the way that it's gone so far. A lot of tint schools, they usually don't cut in the car. I think that's a huge mistake. Okay, so I put up my own car, like the Blazer. People were hand cutting on that from day one. We just did doors. I looked it over afterwards. I'm really shocked. I don't see like any slivers missing from the rubbers. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that'll change. But I probably noticed like a handful of just general scores from doing corners and stuff. A lot. But yeah, I had the Blazer and I had a rental. So if there was damage to the rental car, I would just cross my fingers that they wouldn't see it. But no, everything was great. There needs to be hand cutting, man. You're going to a tint class. Like, how are you going to do everything else? Charge accordingly. Like, charge accordingly, offer a better class. Just... yeah, it's hugely important. You have people, I think it's... as long as you would know up front, though, if you're going to take one of those classes and then they're just like, you knew that there wasn't hand cutting there, that's one thing. But if you get there and you think there's going to be hand cutting and then there's not, I'd be hugely disappointed. Do you offer a frameless door? No, I didn't have anything frameless to work on. More people were very enthusiastic about shrinking. That was the main thing. Most people wanted to shrink and do front doors with frame ones, because that's what you're going to encounter most of the time. It would be nice to have something frameless here, but it's going to be a little bit before I get something frameless. Frameless is kind of, it's the easiest, like if you understand how to install a door window, frameless isn't going to be a problem for you. So that's the good thing about it. It's not super high up on the agenda, but I'll try and get something. Just want to make sure this is nice and close. Good. That's okay. That's more okay. As long as there's like the availability to learn how to do it and practice with it. Because everybody's going to have their strong points. So some people are going to be a little bit better shrinking. Some people are going to be a little bit better hand cutting. Some shops are going to have plotters. Like, everybody's coming at it with a different perspective. So the most important things you want to definitely have available to be covered, and hand cutting is just one of those giant categories. So if it wasn't available, that would be really sad. But I have to imagine that if you asked, they would make accommodations for you. But I remember hearing from a couple of people, they went to the classes and they thought there was going to be hand cutting, and then there just wasn't. And then they left kind of disappointed. And I was like, oh, well, that's no good. So, I don't know. In my opinion, it has to be available. This is a little not great. Some little dirt bits fell into my window. Have you made any video comparisons of Geo? Not lately, no. Everything's just on the channel, or like we use them every day. So if you have questions, ask. '10 Lexus SC 430 hardtop convertible. I'd have to see it. I honestly don't remember. I might never have done one. I asked Expel, and they brought a set of doors separate from a car for me to play with. That's good. I think Expel's training is also exclusive to their dealers, too. So they had class available for like $1,000 for 5 days, which is really, really good. But I think it's just for their dealers now, so sorry. It gets really annoying to repeat that. I can respect it, and their business is their business. I just get asked so much about them. And I feel like I'm always letting people down. It's like, oh, okay. I'm just we're gonna cut this one again. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do to that car. I gotta remove all the film that's on it. Whatever's on it has to be gone in time for the class, unless I just want to have students do it for me, which that's kind of is that nice? You do learn tinting. All right, let's start with actually doing work for me. Is Apex hard to shrink? No, Apex was really straightforward. So was all their films. C2, Apex, Pro Nano, they're all pretty straightforward to shrink. I was really happy with all of them. I know it's a great idea, but doing like one window is fine. Having them like remove the entire car, like as a group, yeah, like they'll do it faster, but I think the more valuable thing is just like, we got 3 days. Let's get started with the things that matter most. When you leave this class, I want you to go be able to make more money. April sold out. Is it? What? I thought I had 5 people. Wait, I got 6? I got full class now? Oh, shit. All right. Hey, that's awesome. But I thought I had one more spot, so when I told people I had one more spot, damn, I need to pay attention. That's really cool. I'm hoping that trend will continue. But after going through the first one, I'm all set up for more. So it's not as hard to run the second, third, the fourth. There was so much to get in place for the first one, though. We just had to scale a lot. So supplies, enough for everybody. How long are the classes? They're 3 days. And you can learn a whole ton in 3 days. So if we want to learn removal, all we have to do is leave film on from the day before or like a couple hours earlier, and then they can learn removal. It's not leave the car and then I'm gonna remove it. If I wanted to be a shitty class, I'd do it the other way. I went to get a spot yesterday and it was filled already. Well, then scoop up May. Scoop up May before it's all gone, because what's going to happen is the next month is then going to fill up, I think. I think as they get closer, like within a week or two, it's like, oh, that's coming up. Some people will jump on it rather than plan ahead a month or so. Yeah, I agree. Like, it is a lot of information all at once. So there were people that came to the class that were very, like, basically they touched film the week before. I think to get a lot out of a class, like, or as much as you can, get some film, get some tools, practice, see how you like it, try and tint some cars, and then take the class afterwards. Even if you can tint some cars, you take the class after that at least, then you know going into a class what you need to get out of it, where all your weak points really are. And they could be in a lot of spots, and that's totally fine. There's lots of things that you're gonna pick up in a class that is just gonna start to make things click a lot faster. I'm really confident in saying that now after running the last class, because I kind of underestimated how helpful it would actually be. I was really, really surprised to see some people. There was one, if you posted a picture of the windshield he tried to shrink, like in the Facebook group, I don't even know where I would start to try and help him. And then I made a couple of adjustments and pointing a couple of things out, and then that was the video that I posted in the group, was him just like knocking out the whole windshield. And I was so proud. But after running that class too, I think 6 people seem to be like a pretty happy spot for me. 8 I could have handled, but I think it's kind of a lot. Because then there's people that are kind of getting left in the corners, and you want to make sure you give everybody their time. So I'd step in, help people out with where they were, walk through some stuff, and then you got to give people like some time on their own too, so they can get comfortable and work on what they're doing, step back in. So I just kept all day I was jumping from person to person. Oh, I hope this isn't short. I'll be so upset if it is. Oh, I think we're good. So I don't have a short roll of this, and normally I'd just use like a Pro Classic strip for the windshield, but being that he got the back in 5, we're just gonna make it all nice and even. Because to me, that's what strips are. Like, you just, like, it's just a strip, and most films, like, you don't need carbon to be your windshield strip, honestly, but for this one, we're gonna do it. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I should just get some short rolls finally. Whoa! Have you done a ceramic strip before? Yeah. They're usually on the ones you can split in half. So when you got like a nice border in the middle that you can kind of, it's like half a short roll, totally fine. But when you have to do that one long strip across the whole thing, I've tinted 1.5 years, just don't seem to speed up. There's days I do 4 to 5 cars, even though, oh, that's a good pace. There's always room for improving. And if you're comfortable with the speeds that you're tinting at, I mean, I think that's super cool. I wouldn't have gotten faster if I wasn't put under pressure. And I think that shows here. I definitely take my sweet time right now. Oh, God! Oh, wait. No, we're okay? Okay, that's weird. He wanted to go pretty low on this strip, too. This is actually going to look really nice, because this has, like, the right curve to it. It's mostly straight. I didn't really understand pole shrinking until I was, like, years into it. Our trainer added a chat group so we can ask questions afterwards. Oh, that's cool. That's really, really cool. Okay. So I think we're like right on the edge here. If I go any lower, I'm going to leave a gap because of the way this is cut. Why is this lock? Like, son of a bitch. It's like I'm pulling really hard right now, and it's just not moving. It's picking one teeny tiny little dumb spot, and it is just grabbed. Yeah, right there. Whoa. Oh my God, I hit it. Yeah, buddy. Yep, that's right about where we wanted to put it. He said about 2-ish inches down from here, which seemed low, but now that I'm looking at it, oh, this is great. It stays pretty level and then swoops down towards this corner. I like this. This is big though. But sometimes it just fits a car right. There's just a spot on the glass actually. I hate when that happens though. After the expel training. Oh, do you do... I wonder if it was with Marco. But that's super cool. He's the expel trainer that I've heard about a bunch. He does a lot of videos now. That's super cool. What's your favorite window tint? Well, if I had a favorite that I wasn't using, there would be a big problem. Because, like, I really like this one, but I can't get it for you. You got to train with Marco. Oh, that's cool. I hear good things. That's awesome. I mean, you can clearly tell how much he likes it. It's really cool training people that want to be there. I've taught quite a few people that it was just a job. So, like, you're showing them things, and they're like, yeah. And then some of them really got it, and some of them just their head wasn't in it at all. It's just, again, it's a job. So, when you get people that are invested in learning, it's a lot of fun. Then they just, there's tons of questions that you can answer and things you can talk about, different situations that you've been in, how you would handle something. He said he wants to tint with you one day. He shot me a message. He said he'll be up here eventually. That would be cool. Most people don't come up this far. I think I'm in the wrong section of the country. Everybody's down in Florida and Texas or over in California. All right, let's cut out this tab here. I really don't have a good reason why I did it this way, because I could 100% just cut this out on the inside, but I put this weird little square here, so I guess I'm going to use it. All right, so this one is a little bit bigger. So for a windshield strip, you can shrink them a little bit. Doesn't really hurt. Most windshield strips I'll just install as is. For like an oversized one, like this one, you just snap shrink the corners a little bit. That way you're not pressing these all out on the inside, especially in a car that's a little bit more aged. I always get baby fingers around the mirror. Yeah, that's not surprising. I'll get them too from time to time. Especially on a full windshield. Doesn't take much to shrink them out though. For like little ones, like it's not a big deal. It's really not a big deal to have something small. It's very normal. You can always tighten things up a little bit more, try again, make small adjustments, but because they're so easy to take care of, that makes them not a big deal. If it's a big thing that takes up a lot of your time, that's the problems. explain how you shrink the brow. I kind of just treat it like a windshield. So, I mean, on this one, I'm doing a little bit on the bottom, but I'm focusing more of my shrinking, like I'm just snapping it like I would do a windshield. Because that's where most of your curve is. It's up towards the top. There must be a loose connection. If it's starting to do some weird blackout stuff, it's probably a connection is getting too loose right now. And I don't know what that is, but that scares me. Usually it's the back. Usually it's the back of the headset. Hopefully that's all it is, so I can get another right angle connector. And yeah, full shrinking on the windshield definitely helps. Little bit. You're lifting the film off the glass, and it can kind of be a scary place because there's nothing like telling you how much you've shrunk it, and then you let go and you can kind of see where it is. But it gives you free reign to kind of like you have a whole smooth area or a whole area that you can put some heat on and it'll all react. Rather than just the little fingers that are popping up off of the glass. Oh, I gotta get this out of the way entirely. I'm lazy. I'm thinking. So we're gonna scrape all this. No, I'm gonna leave this one alone. I'm just gonna scrape all around it. Definitely not going to chop this one up. He said he wanted to reconnect this one. Oh, tape. Well, that's a big difference. To scrape all them wires. I literally could have scraped this. Weird timing. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Before I wet the whole thing down. Customers always want a legal strip. Here, legal is a not so fun option. So we don't have, God damn it. Why? What the heck? Oh, that's real weird. It's weird to see it freeze up for a couple seconds. Like that. That is very weird. How come you only use Lowe's tape on the mirror wires? Those are the real questions that we need to ask. Oh no. All right, let's put that there. Put that there. I knew it. That armrest probably hasn't been propped up in a long time, and you start hearing things go whoosh. I need to be free of my tool belt right now. The AS1 line, top 6 inches. Michigan, we're 4. So 4 inches, 4 is like here. It's really sad. Unless you have a doctor's note. So, Michigan never heard of an AS1 line. Kind of sad. Same thing with the front doors. That's Michigan legal. Somebody made the law a long time ago, and it's never changed. So, it's not all bad, though. I used to think we had terrible state laws. We really don't. Michigan's pretty cool. Because it's kind of like an all or nothing type of situation. So you can go as dark as you want in the back. Oh yeah, I got a loose connection on here for sure. I can see it jitter. So, a lot of states, you could be responsible for removing the entire rear of the car along with the front doors. That would suck. Here, front doors only. Or front doors and a windshield. Much better. And then we also don't have that dumb 70% rule either, so... Yeah, not bad at all. Why are kegs so expensive? I see the same kegs for $100 and all you need is a hose setup. Well, the hose setup definitely adds to it. And then there's other things. So on the kegs, there's a lot of small upgrades. So they add a pressure release valve. They up the all the fittings. And they actually change out some of the fittings too, entirely. So the ones that you're paying $300 for, they're just really, really well pre-built systems. So if you want to get all the parts yourselves, you can definitely save some money and try and do it that way. But there are like all those small little things, like they take apart all the ball locks because they're made for a lot lighter pressure, where Tint Keg upgrades them to be 100 or greater PSI, something like that. Same thing for the pressure release valve, because the beer kegs, I guess they're only really supposed to do like 10 to 15. So you go to use your, funny story, you go to put the quick release thing on, and with too much pressure, you'll just blow out the O-ring. This guy right here. So this thing will go. Oh, this is a bummer. Yeah, they also have lifetime warranties, which is kind of cool. So if anything fails, they replace it. They're super, super cool with all of this. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get a couple extra things. I think I've just worn the, so as my head's like bobbling around, some of the connections start to do this like a lot, and I guess it just doesn't like that, even though it's got like a right angle connector on it, so the cable doesn't get stressed out. The connector does. You do have terrible laws. What you have is lax enforcement, which is great. I guess that's it. It's not ultra strict. It can be, but most of the time it's not. So the main things is they want to be able to kind of see you, and as long as you kind of keep that in mind, you're generally fine. So see, even this, I got a couple little fingers on one side, a couple little fingers on the other side. What a hack. Should have done a better job. Surprised they didn't do the whole windshield. It's just, different, what do you say? So the reason to do a windshield strip is for that daytime glare. Whole windshield, 50% isn't really going to get that for you. So you could go all the way down to 35 and that'll help out more. But windshield strips are still kind of like a different utility. Windshield strips help more for certain times of day. Full windshield, general coverage. But it wasn't completely, oh God, I did it again. Canon. Oh. Well, in that case, it was actually the battery that just died. So that one's justified. How do you keep contamination to a minimum? I feel like I overclean and I still get a little bit of contamination. You might be overly picky on yourself. I mean, it's not unusual to have a little bit, and you just kind of focus on things as you go. You probably are overcleaning. Most of it's in your insulation. So if you kind of just power through it, you'll gradually get better with time. I mean, there's always those little things that you can do. Tape the seals, shrink better. I don't know. A lot of it is installation. So the more you install, the better you get. So having little things here or there, honestly, that was kind of pretty normal. It's just what level of things are there. So when you tint a window and you like doing this for like 5 minutes afterwards and you're like, oh, I got a couple things here. I got a couple things here. I got to touch up this. I got to touch up that. It's too much. Do a little touch up, move on. Or just redo the window. Because you kind of need a little bit of that. That push was actually really helpful for me when I was at my dad's shop, especially. I didn't have all day to spend on one car. I had to get a lot more cars out if we were going to make, overhead, like we had to clear like 12 grand a week in like gross profit to make everything make sense every week. And you hear that and you're like, oh shit. I'm tinting a lot of cars just to pay the bills. So there's not a lot of time to be overly picky on quality. So then you just have to go like, well, if it comes back, it comes back. We had a saying, good enough for who it's for. But you gotta understand, we were charging $170, I think, for like a full tint job without a windshield. And then add windshields weren't really much of a thing at that time either. So it was just, that was how it was. That's what we had to do to make that place survive and make sure my parents got to eat at the end of the day. I mean, it's family owned. That kind of puts you in a weird spot. A lot of pressure there. So, there were days that we just did not get along. That happened a whole lot. Working with family can be really, really tough. It can be good, but it can be tough. So, like, if I were to have free reign of how I want to run a shop, you're seeing it now. This is how I like to do it, but all day on just this doesn't really make sense. Not without extra. Okay, so now we can get this all put back together. Where's my mirror? Oh, it's down there. Got it. So this guy is gonna plug into here. Nice. I love these ones. How much do you bring in yearly tinting cars? I'd have to look back at what last year was. Because it was really like... Did I do this wrong? No. No, because it can't go all the way up there. I swear, this is like a different mirror. Oh, no, it's just made to go that way. Oh, I see. They leave a hole here for this. So, I think last year was like, honestly, like it's going to be real, it's going to be real pathetic for a lot of tint shops. It was in the range, I think, of 60 to 70. That's not a lot for a shop. So when I was doing mobile work, I'd do about 180 in like total installs and everything for the year. And then everybody's got to make their cut. But yeah, you definitely want to be higher than that if you're in a shop. That's why in every stream, I genuinely mean, I appreciate the support, but also the store that I have. We sell special edition things. That all helps. That all helps a lot to continue to keep doing things this way. Ooh, here's this thing. Okay, so we'll leave those there. I don't want to put the stick-ons until after the film is dry, so I'll leave that up to them. They have these old school antennas that would stick on the outside and the inside. You just put them in the same spot. Something for the radio. I don't know why they made them that way, but they did. They have them on like the old Grand Prix and a handful of other cars, like I think a Monte Carlo does it too. I hate doing older sun strips. Older Fords, the visor is a pain to remove. Yeah, a lot of these older cars, they don't really have like, this one actually did have a decent cutout in the center. A lot of times, like on newer cars, they've made them so much bigger so you can just cut your strip in half, do like a 50-50. I like doing that much better than taking one big piece of film and putting it across the car. But getting like 10-inch rolls or 12-inch rolls makes sense. Do you think there's an install difference with using a keg or a pump pressure sprayer? There's small differences. You can get really good jobs with both. But a keg sprayer is just pressure on demand. So it's always there when you need it. And what I've noticed too with like the pump sprayers, sometimes you just need to shoot a jet of water up into your window and it's bulky. So you have to pull the film farther back. and it gets in the way a little bit, it's not the end of the world. But having a keg sprayer, they're a lot smaller profile, just the sprayer, so you can get it into more spots. But if you're, just looking for like a good sprayer to start out with, the Poly 2s, they're like $25 bucks. They're hard to beat. I really like the Poly 2s. I mean, that's what I started on. Kegs weren't really a thing. And then I'm trying to like justify why we need a keg sprayer. We weren't super profitable, so then going like, hey, there's this keg sprayer for like 250 bucks. Can I get one? That's like our whole bill in tools. That's a roll of film. So I've been there, I get it. But when you use it on every car and then you start to show like, oh, it actually saves time in a high pressure, high production type of shop, yeah, it made a lot of sense. Somebody just placed an order, so thank you. Speaking of shop, would you still charge standard $290 for a single cab truck? Just sides, backlash. Just curious. I'm trying to create my price list. No, that one I'd be more along the lines of $200 to like $220. Because it really is like 2 front doors and a really straightforward back window. It's a lot less work, so you don't have to charge the same price as that. If it's an F-250, like an old F-250, yeah, I'm gonna charge that much. But most single cab trucks with a easy border, yeah, it's not the same thing. So there'll be some cars that I just don't charge that much for. I charge $140. Woo! Yeah, you've got a lot of room to go up. So, for a lot of guys that aren't charging a lot, I'm going to say one of your biggest problems is how people are finding you. I didn't know this until later, but oh my God, it's so obvious when I see it. When you do cars for cheaper, those unfortunately become your best referrals because those are people that have been to your business. Most of your traffic in the beginning are going to be people that have no idea who you are. So all you're attracting to your shop are price shoppers. They want to get in now. They want a deal. They want it as cheap and early as possible. So they're going to call around to 50 shops or 5 or 2 or whatever until they get somebody that'll get them in now for as little as possible. So they won't know what's as little as possible until they call 2 or 3 shops. And then, hey, if you're convenient, they'll give you a call. So you'll be really confused early on when you start getting phone calls and you're always too expensive because the crowd that you're attracting are just budget shoppers because you're new. It's where putting out honestly good content, you'll have a huge advantage. It takes time to build credibility. It takes time to build a good client base, and it's a real struggle and grind in the very beginning. But the cheaper you price yourself out in the beginning, the more people are then coming to you with that cheap price in mind, and then they refer more cheap people, and then it's this snowball of cheap. It gets harder to dig yourself out of it. I'm private, so all my work is word of mouth. That's cool. Word of mouth is the best types of referrals. And if you have enough word of mouth to keep you busy, then you don't need to look for anything else. But, you know, just existing, you'll get random phone calls. Oh, they couldn't get in this other shop. As you build up reviews, you start to get more known. So, you know, if you have a business listing, no matter if you want them or not, people will start reviewing you. But like, it's just funny to, it's funny to just see how apparent it is. Like, I've been behind the scenes at so many businesses for so long, and some of them have, like, you know, I've walked in and they've been a business for the past, like, 20 years. And then you wonder, like, how did you build up this type of clientele? Well, they charged accordingly. They were always critical about their work, and they asked for more. And then some people will have it a little bit easier than others, and it'll just snowball a little bit faster. For some people, like, I'd argue for me, it's been a grind. I mean, my phone rang a handful of times today, but I didn't book a single client off of it. I had people that were just price shopping. And at the end of the day, I don't have any other appointments that I've gotten today than I had yesterday. That's not fun. But then randomly, there'll be this day that kicks in, and I'll get a bunch of phone calls. I'll start booking out a lot of clients, and then I'll have another wave of work. And then like this one, this is a repeat from another vehicle that we ended up doing. He really liked the work, and then he brought this in, and we're doing full carbon instead of just standard. I almost fell over. So that is super cool to see, but it takes time to build this up. And it's not going to be every car every day, not in the beginning. So it's easiest to attract more people by price, but it's some of the biggest headache work that you're ever going to get. So if you want to be busy, right off the ground, cheap pricing will kind of get you there. It's actually not even a guarantee, but it's a faster way to get more people. But then when their next car comes around and then you want to charge more, you're going to have a harder time doing it. Damn. So that is the Deville. Look at that. We did 5% on all the rear, 20% on the front, and then we did a big old brow. This reminds me of when I first started tinting a lot. I used to get these types of cars all the time. But it's so nice to have one that's just like still actually pretty well put together. Like, I mean, it's in good shape. It's clean. And then you got carbon tint on it. That's really cool to see. Is Lexan Pure Max good film to start out with? I haven't tried the Pure Max, but I've been disappointed with some of their other stuff. You'll probably be fine to start out with it, but I'm always hesitant to recommend cheaper carbons and ceramics because then people start underpricing themselves on those types of films anyways, and that's not really it's not the point of them. Ding, 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 ding. Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Hello, Tint Studio, how can I help you? Oh my God, what is going on today? Watch, they'll call back. I don't know what's going on, but it keeps not picking up. I wonder if it's a headphone thing. Canon. But something is not working today, because that's happened with like every call that I've got. Probably should have just restarted my phone. Dun, 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 dun. Reboot Google. Yeah, no kidding. How do you reboot this phone? Volume down and power. All right, we'll reset it. What brand is the carpet shield you get? That is the brand. It's like what it's called. So I get it from Lowe's or Home Depot. I keep saying that I gotta check out to see what the other one was. There's another one that I used that was a little bit thinner. I would trust this stuff in my house, but it's a little bit rigid. If a car has full 3M crystalline and it sits outside all day, it will eventually reach the same interior temp as a car with no tint. Yes, yes. You can't outplay ambient temperature. So a hot day will still equal a hot car. When you turn on the car and you start driving it, you're dissipating all that heat. So the sun that is now cutting through your glass, it's not cutting through the same way with a carbon or ceramic tint. The only other way to handle it is to reflect it away. So that's where actually those, those big ugly screens that you put up, those actually reflect the heat away, but your car still gets hot. I guess unless you cover the whole thing in tinfoil, which we've seen. Let's see. Yeah, I know. By Lobo. Let's see. I gotta look at my calendar. What do I have on the schedule today? Tomorrow. Oh, shoot. Why did I block off? It's never fun blocking something off on your schedule and then forgetting why you blocked it off. Uh-oh. This is kind of like a weird rest of the week, though. Then I got that. Okay, I'll have to figure out when I can do this. Is an 18 by 21 foot garage big enough? Also 9 feet high? Yeah, that's great, actually. That's not as big as you'd want it to be, but this green section here, actually, it was probably a little bit smaller. This green section, that was the home garage. So it was like an 18, it's like a 17 by 19 foot space, like 17 and a half, I think, wide by 19 foot. So, yeah, you just really need enough space to pull a car in, and then you can make a lot of money out of a small space. You do not need a big space. That's what's so cool about this. So you can start from home, theoretically. But when you're looking for a space, as long as you're in a space, that's what matters. It doesn't have to be a big space. Let me pull up one of those old streams. I have to go back like a year. So I'm in a big space now, but when I first started the whole studio thing, I was out of my home garage. this. Look at how... Oh, I love that backdrop, too. I actually really liked being in that small of a space. It just made designing it cleaner and simpler. But full-size SUVs, I wasn't closing the garage. Oh, yeah, and I had that old piece of film. So I didn't have much space on the sides, but I put in the same floor. I had enough on all the sides, the back and the front. Oh, look at that Gator Super Chat back then. This was 2020. Trying to get a nice, like, walk around. Look at that. There's the whole setup there. Not a lot of space. Smaller than what you were talking about. I bought one of those metal one-bay garages. I checked everywhere for garages to rent. I had zero luck for months. Yeah, that's no fun. I don't blame you at that point. Yeah, there was slim pickings here at the time when I was looking for a spot. That's why I just jumped into an oversized space, because there wasn't anything else available. Not unless I was driving much farther out. So I jumped in this one and just like, well, here we go. And it's gone pretty well. But yeah, having the opportunity to at least get started and continue with it, like what'll be cool is now you're not in a pressure situation to keep an eye out for something else. So you can start there. You might be completely happy with even staying there for a long time, but you have your own space, and then you can keep an eye out for something better, and then save up some money, establish yourself more, and then jump into something even bigger than where you were looking for originally. That's a really, really good spot to be in. No rent. Oh, I'm so jealous. I want no rent. Imagine, so this place is, without overhead, is $2,400 a month, which really for the size is not bad. And then you tack on everything else, and then your home expenses, and then you're just like, ugh, just want to combine those both together. It'd be so much better off. You can have a cool-ass space for combining rent from here and home together. Zoning is dumb. Should do a reaction video on yourself, on your first videos, and how you've changed over the techniques. I don't even know if I want to watch them. It's not a bad idea. It's a good idea. I just don't even know if I can watch them. There'll be a big difference. We could probably do that here sometime soon. Not today though. I'm glad to finally get going and grow. Just wanted to get workspace for only Tint. Oh yeah, I know. Oh, I know. And it's a world of difference. When you can finally have your own space, it's a huge difference. Because now you have, I can't tell you how long I've been without my own space. Like even just a garage big enough to pull in a full-size car. It's just great. Yep, a lot more lights, less dust, just room, and then it's on your own, kind of your own terms with it. So there were so many times, like, you're doing things through everybody else's working hours. So, if they have extra, like, just working for shops, right? Hey, you got to stop doing that. You got to go work on these cars. Oh, hey, sorry, you got to stop that, go do this. And it's like even leaving stuff there was a problem. So now you, like, even being able to do things after closing time, oh, that's just such a difference. Do you ever go to tinter battles? I haven't been, and I would really want to go to this coming up one, but I thought it was going to be in March, and I checked, and it's in January. We're going to be out of the country in January, so we can't make it to this next one either. But it looks like it's going to be a super cool event. They're doing a lot of, like, they have a venue booked. So, like, the event is like $250, and then it's $250 per night to stay on the location that they're having it. Oh, it's such a cool way to do it because it's right off of the beach. You just can have a night, good food, cool people. It's easy for families to deal with too, because you don't have to go anywhere. It's just all there. So that's super cool. I'd love to go, but I will be out of the country. The evolution of Tint Studio. I remember your early videos. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I didn't want to shop. So that's a big reason why it took me so long to even get into having my own space, because I don't think it doesn't make a ton of sense for what I want to do. But I had to make it work. I think that's the biggest bummer of all of it. I mean, it's cool that I have gotten it to this point where it's all self-sustaining and it's doing well. But it was a real just frustrating challenge to even figure out. I mean, this type of thing just isn't done. Nobody puts most of their career into just making window tint content and then trying to figure out how to support it alongside of still having some sort of functional life. So it's nice to actually be able to pull in cars like this and just kind of chill out and let things happen, and then be able to hang out on stream and stuff. So it's a much lower pressure situation. But with that being said, I still have to do good work and everything, and sometimes stuff happens. I'm going to be tinting my car for the first time soon. What's the best tip you can give me? Don't be afraid to fail. Just watch videos, and when you mess up, sometimes you can keep going with the same pattern that you're doing, and then at least try and get a halfway decent window, because you'll learn a lot just by going through the whole process, then tear it off and do it again. Did you figure out who the 6th person is for the class? I mean, it might have been the sign-up from yesterday. But unless there was one while I was doing things now, I can check. I live in a smaller town. Nobody does window tinting. People have to drive 30-plus miles to get them done. I'm just glad to get going and offer people good quality film and work in my hometown. That's super cool. Hell yeah. Orders. Where I am, there's quite a few tint shops around. So I have to compete like a regular tint shop at the same time. Oh my God. Wait, that was yesterday. Oh, I missed the early one. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't realize somebody signed up in the morning. And then I saw the afternoon one, so that was the 6th spot. Oh, shit. Spot was taken last night when I was about to sign up for it. Damn. Yeah, 7:40 p.m. the last spot was filled. Gotta jump on it. There's another class, though. So this is, I know it's a little farther out, but it's not that far out. Literally every month. Here, I'm going to bring up the site right now, because I got a couple of pictures. Look at that. See? We actually had a class. So this was the windshield that everybody was practicing on for a long time because it gave people the most amount of struggles. Oh, and I gave everybody certificates at the end. That was really nice. I took one of those awkward pictures. Yeah, just lots of. How do I go back on pic? Oh my God, this thing is not desktop friendly. It's very mobile friendly. It's a little confusing on the desktop. I just realized that. Live and learn. I'll have to crop them a little bit. But yeah, it was a really, really good class. Let's see. So April just got filled yesterday. May still has 3 spots, and then June is completely open. But they're not that far away. So that's at least what I really like about the way it's set up right now is it's every month up until the end of this year, so December. We're not going to be able to run one, but I think November should be fine. Although November's holidays. I might have to adjust November then. We'll see. Because 3rd week of November is like you're getting into Thanksgiving. Let me see. So I'm just opening them up a month at a time. So at the end of April, I'll open up July. And so we'll just keep 3 months rolling at the same time. So if you wanted to sign up one and it just got filled, then just jump on the next one before it is. Because at this point, it's April 6th. So we only have a couple of weeks before the next class. But then this is what happened with the first class, is like a week before it got filled. And now with this one, it's a couple of weeks and then it got filled. Most of the spots for the first few classes now are getting filled at least like 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Because it's something you got to plan out a little bit ahead of time. So definitely do that. Hang on, I'll be right with you. Oh, they like it. Hang on. Let me see if they don't mind having the stream going. I have the stream going. Do you guys, I mean, if you guys don't mind being, like, just kind of in the background on the camera or whatever, or if you want me to pull it outside? What do you mean? Live stream. Oh,
I'm just gonna snap a pic. It's okay.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to snap a pic real quick.
Yeah, I don't mind.
With the lights and everything, it's really
Great.
Yeah, what a difference, right?
Holy smokes.
That turned out
I
nice.
think I'm gonna put black rims on it.
Yeah, I think that looked really good on it. It's nice and clean, too.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
it was garage kept for like 10, 15 years.
And it shows it. Yeah,
You got
whoever
a
had it
motor?
did
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
new
job.
motor in it. I did all the suspension on it. I'm gonna do the struts and I'm gonna change the headlight assemblies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Damn. That made it look good. You're right putting that on the top of the windshield.
And that strip, it didn't curve too much either. So even being a little farther down, I think it'll turn out really nice. So.
Man, you just made yourself some more money, man. So I'm gonna bring my car to you.
That's what I like to hear. All right, I'll get it taped up. I'll get it pulled out, and then we can catch you. just the thing, though.
I usually just go from here with the power, and then right here I hit the jumpers.
Yeah,
I actually didn't think I was gonna make it here because this car broke down on me, and I had to do a shit ton of research to figure out what it was, and it ended up being a ground cable right here, from here to here.
Oh.
It threw the service theft system. It wouldn't turn over with nothing.
Oh,
Don't
damn.
forget, Matt,
I know
it's
it
a
gave me a
new-
little bit of a hard time.
That's
Oh,
a
you
new
just do it right
battery.
there. That's good enough. Okay.
Yeah, remember that's a new battery too. So
No, I
that-
changed it. I took the old battery. I took that battery back. This battery's fine.
Oh, okay.
Just want to make sure the connection's.
Well, because you figured that's what. Okay, that's what.
That wasn't the problem.
Wasn't the problem.
You-
What would be the point in? It makes sense. What would be the point changing the battery if that wasn't the problem?
Right, that's $245. That battery.
That battery was big expensive, wasn't it? Okay, I don't blame you. I would have took that.
It's not quite good enough.
I usually see a spark.
Yeah, there usually
This
is.
light's on.
Did I?
Wait. Are you just not on?
Hang on. I think I hooked it up and then forgot to plug it in. That would make a lot of sense, huh?
Yeah, that might not.
That would, because it's ticking. There we go. But it'll still let me know. Yeah,
There you go.
there we go.
Yeah,
Now we're
right
getting
here.
juice.
Yeah, the light just got real bright.
There you go. Here's the key if you want to bring it over. Yeah, buddy. Probably keep that thing around.
Right?
Perfect. I'll leave it running.
Let me grab another key fob. I got some inside.
You know, before I pull it out, this is reading. Can we just cash it out right now?
All right, thank you. Yes, sir.
RGC Super Chatted $1.99.
My brother's named Michael, so when he went to school, there was a shit ton of Michaels.
nothing like a little dead battery action at the end. And it's raining outside too. So I didn't want to pull it out into the rain. So it was in a bit of a tight spot because there were so many super chats today that I couldn't just end it and say, sorry guys, I gotta go. But then it's raining outside. But yeah, he's a cool dude. I unplugged the fog machines too. I heard a super chat, thank you. And then I'm like, oh no. Because sometimes I say, like, I still get plenty of clients that just call around because it's a tint shop and they don't know much about the channel, just like I have a channel, maybe if that. So when I say I'm live streaming to some people, it's just like, what? What does that even mean? So it's still very much a business on top of live streaming too. So those two things together can be really challenging to juggle. When people know, then it's fine. When people don't know, that's when it gets confusing. Oh my God, there's so many I gotta go through. But that's all good and taken care of. That's how I knew they walked in the door. They were already yelling. They really, really liked it. So his buddy has a cruise that he wants to schedule, so soon for that one. But that's always fun to go start up a car and then the battery's dead. Yay. I should have known better on that one. But definitely have a jumper. Say the fog is to make the tint stick faster. They're off right now. Just full disclaimer, they're actually off right now. There's been a lot today. I really appreciate it though. Alrighty, so we're gonna shout out some super chats. Big shout out to a few of them recently. RGC. Then we're just gonna go through them. There's a whole bunch. Daniel Reyna, Lewis, Daniel, Nick, Sun Distributing, Nick, Burner Account, Sean, Daniel Reyna, Jason, RGC, T-Town, Jake, Sean, Daniel, Zeus, Sean, Sun Distributing, Zeus, Daniel Reyna, RGC, Zeus, the detailer, Daniel, Zeus, Daniel, Ken Glass with the first one of today. Holy shit, you guys. What a day. Today was ridiculous. Burner with the I'm poor. That was a very memorable one. See, it's not about the size of the super chat. It's what you do with it. That was hilarious. But that was a good one. Yeah, so this jump box, when you turn it on, it already starts going tick, 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 because it's got one of those like egg timer things in it. So it sounded like it was on, and I just hooked it up, forgot I didn't even plug it in, and I turned the thing on, and it's like, it'll let you know when it's getting juice. So if it's not hooked up right, there's just, the voltage meter doesn't go up. So I was just like, oh shit, I forgot to even plug it in. Gotta love older cars. That would happen so many times. So usually when you leave a car on for like half hour to an hour, you're okay in most situations, like leaving it in ignition mode. But the older car, the touchier they are, you know, it just doesn't always work out. Oh, dang. See, like this one.
Chino Hernandez super chatted $1.99. Tip on Crown Victoria back. I heard they are tough.
Oh, dang. You know who's got a good video that I would highly recommend, and it took me 2 seconds with Google to find this one. From January 2020, tinting a Crown Vic back window. They are tougher. So they're shorter, but they are pretty curved. I think he put like a stupid amount of time into this video. Which is good. Hang on. I think we gotta... All right, let's get some film. Okay, so... Oh, this is a Roland plotter, too. I've never seen one of these things up close. Oh, this just looks like a different Graphtec. Neat. It's got the same rollers on the sides. This one's propped up. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So this is probably the best, I'm just going to say it's probably going to be one of the best visual examples that you're going to get. See how big these fingers are? The first quarter always shrinks relatively easy, and then the farther out you go, the more film has to be shrunk together. So if your film can take it, you can keep putting heat as long as you keep that heat moving. But when you get closer and closer to the edges, sometimes it just bunches up too much film together. So in this case, he's just putting a lot of heat and just he keeps it moving. It's good. That's what you want to see. For the top, I won't be surprised if he starts pulling on it a little bit or like pulling some sections back. Especially in these top corners. So like we're pretty much through the first quarter here. There. Yep. He starts grabbing the top, lifting it, using some heat, and just kind of pulling it even. Light heat, pulling, little, well, I say light heat, but like he's warming up an area. More in these corners here. Watch this video. This is about as good of an example as you're ever going to see. This is exactly how I'm going to do it too. A little bit more in the corner. So he's warming up all in this spot. Probably could do a little bit more. But you go back and forth a little bit between pull shrinking it and then just letting it go and then heating it up a little bit more. Because what that pull is doing is allowing the entire area to get warmed up. And then when you let it go, it all is kind of floating now. So then it can take more even heat. Where when it's individual fingers, the tops of those fingers are taking all the heat. And if it's not shrunk enough, that's where you get into creases and burns and stuff. But yeah, they're not super fun. This is a good video to watch on that. Ooh, this one got some good close-up, better lighting here. Yeah, man. Here, I'll link it too. But Lewis. Oh, wait. Gino. Thank you for the 2. I appreciate it. Go watch Patrick. I don't know if I've had a Crown Vic that I've done on stream anytime soon. Maybe I do, but when I search Crown Vic, that's a good video. Watch that. It's like a beetle. Yeah, like a baby beetle, honestly. It's got similar concepts. It's just not near as tall. Yeah. It's got that same type of bubbly curve. They did that on quite a few older vehicles like that. Alrighty, I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you guys so much for all the support today. I really, really, really appreciate it. I will be back sometime soon. I don't know. It's kind of a weird schedule. So it's hard to say because I've got like a couple of doors. I've got a couple of weird appointments on Saturday. Maybe Friday then? What's today? Is today Tuesday or is it Wednesday? Today's Wednesday. Okay. All right. We're a little farther on in the week than I thought. Thought about getting a hatch from the junkyard to practice on a beetle. That would be something that's great to practice on, yeah. It's a little extreme. Honestly, if you got a Crown Vic backlast from the junkyard, then you know exactly what you're getting into. Even me, with a VW Bug, it's probably going to take me a couple times to get it done. Might even do dot tricks on the top to make it easier, I don't know. But I haven't seen a Bug in person in forever. So I wonder what that would be like if I got one. I'll probably all of a sudden get one on my schedule. But that's just the thing. Like, the ones that I remember doing are the newer body style. I think I've done one of the older body styles, but it's been forever ago. I always got the newer body styles, even with that spoiler at the bottom. And they're tough, but they're not as tough. But, you know, how many old Devilles do we get? So that's the trade-off for me. I get a lot of newer mid-range leases, and buys, leases, just newer mid-range cars. That's most of what I do. The GTA Golf kicked my ass. I hear that. It definitely, like, that back window throws people for a loop. You got to cut all your edges a little tighter and leaves extra material, though, on the bottom especially, to pull on that film and as you're shrinking it. Streaming tomorrow? It doesn't look like it. I have a couple doors, and then I have a blocked off section of time, and I'm trying to remember why I blocked off time. I'm honestly not sure. I wish I knew. Because I could have wrote a note, and I should have wrote a note, but I didn't. Oh, well, I'll figure it out. Alrighty, I gotta go. Thank you guys so much for today. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you, I'm guessing, Friday. So, have a good one. Bye.